break it all down. The Vault Studio, the best show in town. Best show in town, best show in town. Lights on, mic check, game time, let's go. Jay George, Scotty running the show. Rock on the mix, keeping it tight. NFL talk every day, every night.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Vault Studios NFL podcast. I am your host, most known as the guy with the mustache on YouTube from a few comments this week.
Shout out to all the comments.
There's been some good ones. There's been some good ones.
Brilliant comments, good fan interaction, and our friend on YouTube was getting right stuck into.
He got right stuck into me. He said, "You're a legend for
Of course
sticking
I
up
am.
for QB1."
What a poor character arc for that bloke.
from Philadelphia. I'm assuming he's a Philly fan.
Of course he is.
I don't think he's a Minnesota fan sticking up for.
He sounds a little bit unhinged, so he must be a Philly
A little
fan.
bit crazy. No, but yeah, shout out to the
Shout
guys.
out, brother. Pal.
We're obviously joined by Big Georgie Boy, the Harry Potter enthusiast himself,
Fuck off.
Scotty McGuinness. He was just telling us before that he read all the books.
Read that
big
virgin
fan.
Wow.
I'm so triggered by Harry Potter.
I'm more likely not reading at all than reading that.
Gun to your head, read Harry Potter or get shot. What are you doing?
Shot 100%.
Wow.
I'm not even blinking at that.
I love it.
And we've got Brocky on the ones and twos, as always, doing
Amen.
God's work.
Amen to that.
If you like Harry Potter, shout out.
It's
a good fucking movie.
Don't.
very popular. Very popular.
Not
the
to
old Potter.
our. I wouldn't think that the's much crossover for our.
You'd be surprised how popular the old Potter
No,
is
you'd
in
be surprised.
the
You'd be
world.
surprised.
Potter.
Old Potter. We've got some news to go through tonight. There has been some news over the last
Yeah, it's been a
couple
little
of
bit
days,
of news trickling around.
which is good. I think we're starting with the New York Jets, who have decided to sign two of their young,
They've been
probably their
splashing-
two best players.
Splashing a little bit of cash.
So Garrett Wilson, I think it was $30 million a year for 4 years. It was 130 over 4 years, which I think is a pretty good contract for him. I think $30 million a year is pretty fair for
that's
a
pretty
player
fair.
of his caliber.
90 million guaranteed.
$90 million guaranteed. So
He's a good player, man. He's been pretty productive considering the QB situation while he's been there.
Yeah.
With the Jets. He's been pretty productive. I think he's a good player.
I think so too. I like Garrett Wilson. I think he's probably a little bit underrated, if anything.
What are some of the players that are on 30 million?
Well, the best comparison right now is to the T. Higgins contract because he got less than T. Higgins.
Which is fair. So I think T. Higgins is way better.
Is T. Higgins a better wide receiver than Garrett Wilson?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Mm,
I'm taking production out of it. Just
oh,
genuine. Like you look at one
that's
receiver and you
a
look at
big
the other.
thing to take out of it. Why are you taking production?
No, because one's had Joe Burrow and one's had fucking.
Well, that's kind of my point.
Zach Wilson.
Like if he had Joe Burrow throwing him the ball, Wilson would be fucking really good.
No, but I just think
He was
like
good with Zach Wilson throwing him the ball.
I think T. Higgins is probably like if you're going to take a receiver to start your team, you'll take T. Higgins over Garrett.
I think I take Wilson. I think Garrett Wilson's a better player than T. Higgins. It's pretty close. It's not a big difference between them. They're very similar actually in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of the comparison. I think, but T. Higgins was a bit more like if you're getting into when you start getting into like the 35 plus mark,
He's not there.
You're getting into your CD Lambs, Justin Jeffersons, those sorts
elite
of guys.
tier one guys.
Yeah, I think what did LA Rams receiver now? Devontae Adams, I think he got 26.
Yeah.
Like Waddle's on 24. Like if Waddle's re-signing with now, he's probably a $30 million receiver.
So I don't know. I don't like that market at the moment.
What did DK Metcalf get?
30.
DK, yeah, he's 35 for next year.
Yeah.
So who are we taking, DK or Wilson?
DK's
a
take
lot
DK.
younger. I think DK's a better player.
DK because he's bigger.
Yeah,
bigger,
I think DK's
faster, yeah.
better at this point, but I think Wilson could. Like I said, he's coming into his fourth year, so he's not like a rookie.
No.
But yeah,
Who else is on 30 mil a year, bro? Can you pull that up?
Yes, I can, Scott.
Thank you.
I just want to see the comparison.
so you got
This is for next year.
Yeah, AJ Brown. But you take Brown.
You take Brown, you take CD, you take Hill with his history.
remember that's cap hit though, so it's cap hit's always inflated.
This is total cash.
Is that total cash for next year?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's always
I don't
inflated. The newer contracts
I know.
are always going to be a lot higher.
Yeah,
because-
that's what my point is with the where the market is at the moment. Like Ayuk at 24 mil a year is about right.
I think that's for a 1A receiver. I think
Yeah.
24 to 30 million is kind of the hitting zone.
Yeah.
But I think Wilson he's a 1. Well, he's a 1 on the Jets, so they're paying him as their 1.
Yeah.
They moved on. Oh no, they didn't move on from Pickens. What am I talking crazy? Who did the Jets have?
Devontae Adams.
Oh, Devontae Adams. Sorry,
They've still got Lazard there, who will be the number 2. I don't know if he stays on the roster or not, but he's still there.
Oh, he's already bought a house in Pittsburgh. He's just waiting for the contract to follow.
How's the hate from the Pittsburgh fans buying Aaron Rodgers jerseys just to burn them?
As I said in our chat, that's Brock level hate. That's a league level hate.
Outrageous hate for probably he is easily their best quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger, and probably their best quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger 3 years before he retired.
Yeah.
Maybe
True.
2 years.
Yeah.
No, maybe they're too proud for like the mercenary sort of mindset.
Well,
they can have Mason Rudolph and
or
win games.
you can have Kenny Smallhands back if you want.
Yeah. But which he'll be moving.
We've already
somewhere.
seen that movie, so
Yeah, I think so too. I look, buying a jersey to burn it, just an incredible waste of money.
Absolute waste of money.
Stupidity.
There's way better ways to waste money.
100%. So so Garrett Wilson got signed. Look, and then they also re-signed Sauce Gardner.
I don't like this one.
This is a contract I've got more of an issue with.
I don't like this one.
It was $30.1 million a year.
Yeah.
$100,000 a year more than Derek Stingley Jr.
So that makes him the highest paid.
Highest paid corner in football. And off last year, if you take his whole 3 years in the NFL, it's probably not that outrageous. But
it is.
Off last year, I think it's a bit high.
I think he's only had 2 interceptions. Or he's got 4 interceptions and like 30 pass deflections.
He didn't have a good year last year. Or a great year. He was still good, but didn't have a great year.
I just think corners are out producing him on worse defenses.
I think so too. Like you look at the Patrick Surtain contract now, which is $24 million a year.
Phenomenal money.
It's just so. This is why you have to sign guys as early as possible. If you were keeping them, sign them early, and that's why I don't hate on the Gardner trade because they're now as soon as they were eligible to re-sign Sauce Gardner, they've gone and done it. Now, have they paid a little bit too much? Potentially, but he's a good corner. He is easily a starting corner on any team in the NFL. And you take his first 2 years in the NFL and how locked down he was elite. Last year was a bit of a blimp.
Yeah.
So they're backing that he's going to go back to that form, and I don't think that's an unrealistic thing to back.
My issue is it's the 3 picks. He's also had 3 touchdowns thrown on him, which is 3 or 4. But he's had 3 touchdowns thrown on him, which is elite. But I don't know. I just feel like and I said it before, I feel like he's more of a splash player.
Yeah, he is.
And I don't feel comfortable if you're paying him the best money.
That's fair.
And I think like his character comes into it where he holds out for all these other contracts and gets paid $100,000 more. Like he's doing it for the money. You know what I mean?
It's such a hubris thing.
Yeah, but why are we hating on that?
Because he's not the best.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter like whether he's the best or not. Like
it does because he's getting paid to be the best.
But like I'm talking about from the player's point of view. He's got leverage. He's got leverage against the Jets. He's easily their best corner. If they're going to have to go to market to get someone, they're going to have to pay that much, if not more.
No, they're not.
Well, to get someone as good as Sauce, they're going to have to.
Yeah, they will. They'll have to pay that money in free.
So, why wouldn't he use that leverage to get as much money as he can? 100%
he
should be getting every dollar he can.
At the end of next year, he's getting that easily.
If not more.
Probably more, because we all know that everyone overpays.
Because everyone overpays in free agency by at least 20%.
And the fact that he wants to stay at the Jets, that Aaron Glenn wants him there, I think it's a sign that Aaron Glenn, because they didn't do it straight away.
Yeah.
Aaron Glenn's come into the building, done some work with him, and obviously gone, I want this guy around. Like he's good. I want him around. If anyone can get the best out of a corner, it's Aaron Glenn.
This is what I said in my write-up, that Aaron Glenn is going to start shaping the team how he wants it. So he's clearly met with everyone and spoken with everyone and said, okay, I like Wilson, he stays. So re-sign him now early. I like Sauce, re-sign him early, he stays.
Yeah.
I don't like this. Is he a top 5 corner in the league right now?
On the verge of it, yeah. He's definitely top 10. I don't know if he's top 5.
I'd love to know where he's rated, like on Pro Football Focus. He'd be top 10 for sure.
Top 10. So if you're a top 10 player, you just instantly get reset the market, do you?
Yes.
I don't see that's wrong. I don't agree with that.
That's how contracts in the NFL work. Early contracts, that's how they work.
Yeah, because you're banking that the cap's going to go up, and as a percentage of the cap, it's going to be much less every year.
I understand that, but not everyone that signs a contract needs to set the market.
No, but
Because I'm taking
Guys like
taking Horn,
Gardner
I'm
do.
taking Stingley, I'm taking Gonzalez, I'm taking.
I don't know if I take Gonzalez over Sauce.
I
Oh
would.
yeah, for
I would.
sure, for sure. The
Because he
versatility,
can play more positions
yeah,
as well.
and he's
Yeah.
is
It's not as big a gap as it's not that big.
He's
Pro Football have Source Gardner ranked 31st
Last
in
year?
corners last year.
he's coming off a bad year.
Yeah.
And you're paying him now as the best.
I'm just banking that
Who was number
I
one,
don't-
Brock?
I don't think Aaron Glenn.
PS2 for sure.
No,
JC Horn.
we don't mention his name.
Who is it?
It's Cooper DeJean.
Oh, as it should be.
As it should be. Great White.
Grey
Hope.
White Hope. Love
No,
that guy.
Probably didn't play enough reps.
That like you can take Pro Football Focus with a grain of salt at times.
Yeah.
And I think particularly there are two positions I take Pro Football Focus with a grain of salt: offensive line and cornerback. And that's not because I don't think they're good at measuring. It's such a hard position to measure.
Yeah.
It's near impossible to measure.
I don't know.
how
There's
successful
people
he is.
listening saying, "Oh, he's so good that they don't throw him the ball and stuff like that." But no, it's not that.
I have no issue with this as a team move to lock up two of that. Like Wilson's their best offensive player. I don't think there's really any doubt with that.
Williams.
Wilson.
Wilson's their best
Yeah,
offensive player.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think Sauce is their second best behind Williams. I think Williams,
Yeah,
and they locked him up last year. They're locking up young
Yeah, so
guys
they've locked up
to build around.
their best D lineman.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now they've locked up their best defensive back.
I just don't
I've got
like.
no issue with it.
I don't know.
You just don't like the money.
I don't like the money. He's not in the.
In 2 years, it'll be cheap. When
But
it won't be cheap, though.
a guy like that, he's not re-signing for anything less than the top guy. That's just the way he is. We know that about him. That's just the
do
way
you
he
have an
operates.
issue with that though? From a player's point of view?
No. No, I think
neither do I.
players should get as much money as they physically can.
Milk them
If it's $100,000 a year more over 4 years, get it. Get that $400K. If
100%, bro.
that's what you want and they're willing to pay it, get it.
Yeah, the issue is that teams should be smarter with their money. That's what I'm saying.
I think
Not
the Jets
every
got-
record needs to break the.
Not every signing. But
Not every signing.
Yeah, but if you let Sauce walk,
you can't let him walk. He's very popular with the fans.
who
Everyone loves him.
are you getting, and who are you getting for cheaper money? You're not getting someone as good for cheaper
Well,
money.
you're drafting again. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
that's my point.
And there's two ways teams look to build their teams. They keep their stars and draft their in between guys.
Sure.
Yeah.
So they use young rookie contracts and star players, which
Yep.
is what
It's
the
stars and
Cowboys.
scrubs.
The Cowboys
Yeah.
are the masters of that. They let anyone that's mediocre go and get their money from someone else. They let them overpay them, and then their stars they keep.
Or they get those mid-range guys on team-friendly contracts.
That's what. And then then the other way teams build is they let the big guys leave because they're not willing to pay them the money, and they just try and rebuild and find the next star.
Sure.
Like Jalen Ramsey made a career of it.
Yeah.
The Jags, he wanted the big money. Jags went, we're not willing to pay you that. All right, well, Rams will.
Yeah.
And then when the Rams didn't want to pay him anymore, Dolphins will pay you.
Yeah.
And then now the Dolphins don't want to pay him anymore, Steelers will pay you.
Yeah.
It's just there's two ways to build your team like that, and it comes with your value and where you value
As
guys.
a player, get your bag.
I guarantee you, Aaron Glenn values. I would say he would value corners above almost any other position.
Well, he was a
naturally
corner.
he played
Obviously,
corner,
yeah.
so he's going to
Corner,
value that position.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I think he's going to back himself and go, "I'll make Gardner the best corner in football."
Like last week, I praised the Jets. They've done nothing but good moves. And then the Wilson one, I don't think he's in that top 10 category, but I can, like, if you go, he's never had a quarterback, this, that, and the other, he could be a top 10 receiver. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, you probably overpaid for him a little bit, but the Gardner one, like,
I don't
we're
mind.
paying off 1 year,
I,
really.
I don't mind the Wilson contract because I think you're paying market value for that.
Yeah.
You're probably
The market-
paying above
my-
market value for Gardner.
My issue is the wide receiver market's exploded and the production's
Wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
The production for the 15 through to 25 receiver and what they're getting paid is just not right. It doesn't align with
like
what
Amon
the
Ra St. Brown is kicking himself right now.
Yeah.
For signing that contract
Yeah.
a year ago for $24 million.
But-
and so is Waddle probably.
But in fairness, like Amon Ra St. Brown's probably a little bit underpaid, but Waddle's probably bang on. Really?
I would say if anything, Waddle's overpaid than underpaid.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
probably.
From last season.
Yeah.
And like same with Tyreek Hill. He's overpaid from his production last year.
Yeah. But we're paying the 36th ranked corner the best money because he's young. Like that's
It's about keeping him in the building. I don't think it's about keeping your perceived, whether you perceive it, fans perceive it, or everyone perceives it, you're keeping your perceived star player in the building. That's what that's all the Jets are doing. And I don't hate that.
Yeah.
You need to keep something. You got to spend your cap. You may as well Like,
Yes.
these NFL teams, they've got tons of money. The cap's nothing to them.
Yeah.
So you've got to spend it. At least if you're spending it to keep players in the building. And I'll never hate on that. Like, I'd much prefer that money than what the Patriots gave Milton Williams. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at, and that's what happens when you hit free agency. And that's what would have happened to Gardner. He would have had 25 teams bidding on him.
Yeah, cool. We'll go play for the Titans then.
Well, and that's what...
Go play for the Titans for $35.1 million a year.
Yeah.
Or you can come and stay at the Jets for
the Jets want him.
23. 20. Let's say 26.
Yeah, but we're saying go play at the Titans. The Jets aren't much off the Titans. Like, if anything, the Jets have had much less success than the Titans over the past 10 years.
They overpay players.
Yeah, and that's fair. Well, let's see how it plays out. I think it'll play out. I think he'll be very good under Aaron Glenn.
Yeah,
because I don't think Aaron Glenn would have signed him if he didn't believe that.
He was pretty shit for Salah.
Oh, in his last year,
his last 2 years.
His rookie year was unreal.
Like, and he stole the rookie defensive player of the year. But discussion for another day.
From Tariq Woolen.
Yeah. He had a better year. Pull up the stats. Pull up the stats.
We all know it. Tariq Woolen was very
and Seattle's probably going to let him go.
Yeah, they will, because they won't want to pay him $30 million.
Yeah,
that's probably what he's going to get.
Because it's better team building.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to pay fucking Spoon.
Oh, Witherspoon's so good. So good. All right, the next topic, Brocky. Sorry, I can't.
Bit of a grim one.
Oh,
Shamar Stewart.
Shamar Stewart. So
fucking hell.
Interesting. This I feel like we talk about this every week, and every week I'm like, do we have to
talk about this
again?
It has league-wide repercussions in terms of the precedent set.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
So he's now back training with Texas A&M, his college team. It's not unheard of for players to go back and train with their college teams, whether they're
even their hometowns.
Yeah, whether they're on contract or not. Plenty of guys go back and train at the high schools in their town when they're in this time of the off season just to get reps.
Yep.
So, but I think the speculation on Shamar Stewart is that he's extremely happy to sit out this season and be redrafted.
That's the only leverage he has. He's just playing the only leverage he's got.
As he should.
Yeah.
And people that come out and say that he's selfish and all this sort of stuff, if you don't get, you get paid to perform in a job, and if you don't perform anymore, you don't get the money. That's not true. That's not what the Bengals are saying. They're not saying if you're a bad player, we have the rights to cut you.
Yeah.
They have the rights to cut him. Rookie contracts are fully guaranteed under the CBA. That's how they operate. That's how they work. To stop teams doing this sort of stuff. To invest in the rookies, that's what they do. Now, as you get up in the draft, it becomes a lot less, and you're willing to cut it and be like, cool, I'm happy to eat that guarantee.
Sure. Yeah.
That's how it all works, right? They're not saying that if you don't perform well, we want the right to cut you and not pay you.
Yeah.
They're saying if you get injured and cannot play, we have the right to cut you and not pay you the guarantees that you are under the NFL Players Association, the collective bargaining agreement. That is the rules. They're saying they're trying to change the wording to suit themselves, that if he tears his Achilles in the first game of the season and he's never the same guy, they can cut him and go, hey, it happened because you're no good because of an injury. We're cutting you and we're voiding all your guarantees.
And also
lose the remainder of it. Yeah.
Another wrinkle of this is that he will get no NFL pension or anything like that, because that's what protects the older guys. So, like, if you're a vet min, if over 6 years, you get the NFL pension. So then if you tear your Achilles and get cut, well, you've been in the NFL for a certain amount of time, you get certain royalties that come with it. But if you're a rookie, you get none of that.
No.
Because your contract's guaranteed. So it's a very dangerous line to walk.
Anyone spinning this that Shamar Stewart is the scumbag in this situation has no understanding of what's actually happening.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And to be clear,
it's not a performance thing. It's an injury thing that he has a problem with.
Every player for Cincinnati are telling him to hold out.
Yes, and
it's a brotherhood with the players. They're saying, no, do not do this.
It's not even an injury thing. Like what Brock was saying about it before, but isn't it like if there's any like off-field stuff too? They can just, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just crazy, man. No, you can't have that.
Cause,
Yeah,
I think
it's ridiculous.
The injury is, so if it's a season-ending injury, they can keep him under contract but not pay him the guarantees for that year.
Yeah,
which is fucking
outrageous. That's crazy.
Ludicrous. Yeah.
Which
the Bengals are the bad guys here.
Yeah, this is what they're trying to bring in.
Yeah, it's wild. And then I would argue, everyone's like, oh, if he goes back and sits out the year, it just sets a precedent that players can do this. Yeah, it sets a precedent that if your team that drafted you don't do the right thing, that you can go back and say, fuck you, I'm going to sit out a year, earn $0 and ran to the draft.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
That's what I'm going to do. And
I'm-
someone else can draft me.
I'm interested to know why the NFLPA has been very quiet.
No, they've supported him.
I know, but how publicly? Because I'm not seeing.
Well, they can't do much. They can just say your options are you either sign the contract and go to camp, or you don't sign the contract and don't play.
Yeah.
They're your two options.
I would like to, and they may have, but I haven't seen anything of them publicly supporting him.
I don't think he can actually sign into the PA until he signs his contract. That's the issue. And the PA are going through their own shit at the moment with collusion about guaranteed contracts and stuff.
Yes, yeah. Oh, just quietly on that. Do we want to talk about the NFLPA absolutely shit canning a quarterback not getting paid?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So this
hot
is
off the press.
this is what Brock's referring to. So the current NFLPA president, and I came across this information a few weeks ago, so I don't know how I'm paraphrasing this, how accurate it is. But so the NFLPA president was on record shit canning a current quarterback, and it was all protected, saying that he doesn't deserve this money, blah, 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 don't pay him this, like, yeah, you gotta. He's a bitch, I think, was in the email as well. Said,
Who was it referring to?
so now this has all been uncovered for something else that's going on that's on much more minor. And said player happens to be Russell Wilson for the contract
Oh, wow. Okay.
that he
At the
got
Broncos.
at the Broncos.
Well, I mean, the guy was right. He was not worth that much. For what it's
No,
worth.
because he didn't want the market to be set for that for quarterbacks.
Right.
So now he's shit canned someone that he should have been protecting
Mm.
in writing, and then calling him. I'm pretty sure he called him a bitch.
Well, being the NFL Players Association head,
Yes, you should not be.
It's in the name that you're there to represent the players.
Yes.
That's why they bought the Players Association in.
and the best
and it's
interests.
ex-players to look after past players, because
and
the players that all started
current
it
players.
and current players,
Yeah.
because the past players all started this because they were so badly treated at times that they were like, we need to have protection for ourselves and a community that looks after them and fights for them, and that's why it was all bought in.
This is so, and tying it back into the Shamar Stewart thing. This is why everyone should be on Stewart's side, because fuck the NFL, fuck the teams, fuck the billionaire owners. Like these guys, they're literally trying to screw a kid out of his money that he's earned by blood, sweat, and tears to get to the NFL.
And-
like that $14 million or whatever that they've got to pay
It's
him.
$19 million over 4 years.
It's literally a drop in the ocean for these billionaire owners. Just like stop being such a scumbag and just fork over the money and do the right thing.
And do
Like-
you know what the best part is? If he comes out in that 4-year span and gets anywhere between 8 to 12 sacks in 1 year, they earn 5 times the amount of money just on him.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Like-
absolutely.
The endorsements through the team, like all of that sort of stuff.
And that's how
jersey
contracts,
sales.
and
like-
that's how they set it up. Like, I don't have any sympathy for them. If this was a performance-based discussion, I have no sympathy for the players. They're paid to perform, and they need to perform. And the better you perform, the more money you earn.
yeah, they're called incentives. They're
That's-
part of the contract.
yeah, that's
but
how
it's
it
not your
works.
rookie contract.
I have it. That's why the rookie contracts are fully guaranteed,
That's
and that's
right.
why they're at a lower amount. Do you
Yep.
remember? I can still remember
Brad-
the wild
Sam
west of
Sam Bradford.
guys getting
Yeah.
drafted and then negotiating their own contract
that's
because
right,
there was no set contract.
Yeah.
And it wasn't guaranteed. It was, and then the good kids that had good agents could get better contracts, and then they'd like the Brock Purdy thing is a prime example. You know, you're on $700,000 for 4 years, and then
Yeah.
you finally get your money, right?
Yeah.
There were plenty of guys like that were much lower drafted than or higher drafted than Purdy that got nothing, and then you had guys like Bradshaw. Was it Bradshaw?
Sam Bradford.
Sam
Sam
Bradford,
Bradford,
From the Rams.
who
yeah.
would break the record for contracts and be earning all this money, and then suck but still be earning all this money.
Yeah.
And they just wanted to level the playing field, so the total money was lowered, but the bark off was, well, you're going to get, if you're a bust, you're getting 4 years. You're getting
Yep.
$19 million. If you're drafted at pick 18, like Shamar Stewart was, you're getting $19 million guaranteed, no matter how good or bad you are. You've earned that right. being drafted to earn that money.
And it's tiered based on where you get
And it's
drafted.
tiered
Yes,
by where you
every
go.
draft pick.
In all honesty, that's a really fair system. It's fair for all.
It's a little
all
low
parties.
now because of the way the cap's climbed. It's a
Yes.
little low.
Yeah, yeah.
But it'll
Yeah,
get
but
renegotiated in
doesn't
a
it-
couple of
Yeah,
years.
it doesn't get
No,
every time
no,
they do
every time they do the
the
collective
CBA,
bargaining
it's
agreement.
done. Yeah.
So when that comes up again, I think it's in 2 seasons.
Well, they
time,
missed it last
it'll
year.
boost right up again.
It
Sure.
didn't get negotiated last year because they were arguing about the 18 games and 2 buys.
Yeah, and that's where the
And then-
NFLPA need to like look at themselves a little bit here and go, well,
Well,
we're not looking after our players as well as we should.
Mm.
another interesting point is that the NFL do the bargaining agreement before the TV rights agreement.
Well, that's just smart business.
Yes,
Yeah.
from the NFL point of view, the
Yes.
NFLPA, wake the fuck up.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to say as well.
Do
like-
it a year after the all the agreements for all the televising, and then you will get more money.
And the final point I want to make on this is that people that are saying, oh, they're on the side of the teams or the side of this, like, no, this is not like to us. It's a game. It's enjoyment. We sit down, we watch it. It's entertainment, essentially. For these guys, this is their work. This is their business. Like if you were negotiating a contract with your boss for your workplace, you'd be going as hard as you possibly could to get every single thing that you could get.
Yeah.
Like these guys are no different. Just because they're playing a game for their job doesn't make it any less of a job.
And anyone calling out these people like, oh, you should be happy making $19 million. Yada, yada, yada. Well, they've dedicated their entire life from when they could basically run and play any sort of low level like high school football or even pee wee football. They've dedicated their entire life to this. And if you were in the 1% in your job and you were good enough, you would want to make the top 1% money in your profession.
Yeah, spot on.
So-
Spot on.
It's compare it to apples and apples, not apples and oranges.
Yes,
Because-
100%.
Just on the PA as well, the players don't actually have to be a part of it as well. So Pat McAfee, at the end of his career, like last 4 years of his career, wasn't a part of the PA simply for the fact that he didn't want to deal with the meetings and he thought they were all just bullshit. They were just in the pocket of the NFL
Okay.
and they weren't actually helping him. So he went, nah, I'm not doing it. I'm signing out of the PA.
That's where all the emails came out about Russell Wilson for the what word am I looking for? Like collusion with the
Yes.
NFLPA and the owners.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty insane, and this always happens. There's always the mud always comes out when you're looking for something else, isn't it?
Amen.
It's all- it always-
Ask Gruden.
John
Ask
Gruden.
Ask Johnny G,
Yeah.
who's doing very well at Barstool now. He's
Yeah.
probably he doesn't have to coach the Raiders anymore. Still got paid for 10 years, and
Yeah,
now
that's
he's making
right.
bank.
Yeah,
So
he's making more money.
yeah. All right, the next one. This is a bit of a somber.
Yeah,
This is a shit one, but
Well,
we'll
it's a
go over
shit
this one
one.
pretty quickly.
What's his name? You're gonna keep forgetting.
Keyshawn
Keyshawn
Jenkins? Keyshawn Jenkins.
So the second round pick running back out of Ohio State, if I'm
Yes.
correct,
Yep.
for the Cleveland Browns. He's been charged with domestic assault. I'm not going to go into the details of this other than it's very real. It's not did it actually? It happened. It's grim. If you want to look it up, look it up. I'm not going to talk about it. I don't think it's worth talking about. But again, it's just another sign of the Browns making decisions that backfire on them.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I don't know if this is on the Browns as much. I don't know if he had
No, but
history
I'm not
with
saying it's
this.
on the Browns in this situation.
Yeah.
But it just seems to keep happening, right?
I'm convinced they're cursed.
Yeah, and if
They're
you,
cursed. I'm convinced.
I'll never forget when they signed Deshaun Watson
Shouldn't have
saying
left
this
Ohio
is
the first time.
this is cursing them. This is opening a precedent for players of that sort of caliber
Mm.
that you do the wrong thing and we're going to reward you for it. And it wasn't so much the trade was bad enough when they already had Baker, and we've seen how that's worked out
True.
terribly for them. But then to give him the fully guaranteed $250 million, which was the highest paid quarterback at that point, which again has backfired on them.
Mm.
I just think they've painted themselves into a corner, and whether they knew about this or not, or they had any inkling that this was in his character arc or anything like that, the bottom line is that, you set your foundations up on straw, it collapses. And that's what the Browns have been doing for the better part of 50 years.
I'm so surprised that Garrett agreed to stay. I'm so surprised.
Well, apparently they promised Garrett the money, obviously, and then a Super Bowl winning quarterback. And they went and got Kenny Pickett. So they did give him, they delivered.
Hey, shout out Kenny Small.
Shout out to Small Hands Kenny Pickett. But it just
Did you
seems
know-
like a
Go on.
clusterfuck.
No
of
one cares, George.
organisation.
Yes, they do.
No
guys.
one cares, George.
Yes, they do.
He's got 4 more weeks. What?
Are you somehow bringing up Philly when we're talking about the Souths?
Yeah, that's right.
No.
Before we get onto the South, let's go to Brocky's Corner.
Oh,
so I
Siona.
I
I've been waiting all
spent
week for
Friday watching the quarterbacks on Netflix.
Yep.
Great documentary. Loved it. Jared Goff, great bloke. Who was the other? Kirk Cousins, top 3 quarterback now. Really like him. Real big fan. And Joe Burrow. I've turned around on Joe Burrow. I actually like Joe Burrow, so put him on the list.
Is it because of the mentality?
He's already on the love list.
Is he on the love list?
Yeah, someone wrote it there. It's not your writing, though, because yours is illiterate and I can read Joe Burrow.
Yeah, no, Joe
So
Burrow.
Someone else wrote that.
Fantastic guy. I actually really like him. But let's skip over that. Shout out Jared Goff. Just had his first
Goff.
kid. Shut up, Scott. Just had his first kid, so
Oh.
welcome.
Oh,
His wife is
congrats.
fantastic. Great
Congrats.
star of the show. But I want to touch on Teddy Two Glove Bridgewater.
Oh, this is
yeah.
terrible.
This is
terrible.
so
an
bad.
absolute joke.
What
Yeah.
happened to
So-
Teddy? What happened to Teddy Two
Listen to
Gloves?
this.
His
Yeah.
high school, Miami Northwestern,
Yep.
have suspended him because he made a Facebook post of all the things he covered last year for the players out of his own pocket. So he
I don't think the school did. Wasn't it the league?
the school.
Yeah.
It was the school suspended him for for. I'm just trying to find it here.
Getting Ubers for the kids.
Yeah, so he
getting
paid-
them home safe.
He paid Ubers, food, recovery stuff just for the kids out of his own pocket. And the school's come out and suspended him now. He's made a Facebook post again going, I can't, like, the schools can't suspend me. I can go wherever I want, but I'm not going to. If they want to suspend me, I'll stand in the bleachers and coach for free like I did the 2 years before that, before coming back to the NFL. So shout out Teddy Bridgewater because he's the guy that actually cares about his players. And the fact that the high school is trying to suspend him is an absolute joke.
Why are they trying to suspend him for spending his own money to help the players? I don't understand.
It hasn't come from, I'm guaranteeing you it hasn't come from the high school. This is the old rule of the unfair playing field, right? Because not every high school team in that district will have an ex-NFL quarterback with a ton of money that can help the kids, right?
Right.
So I'll never forget it with Gridiron Victoria. We once wanted to have headsets where we could sit up in our new stadium in the coach's box and then like have a headset down, have someone up with a headset talking to the coach, telling them the formation, all this stuff, like all normal coaches do. And we got told, no, you can't do it because every other team doesn't have that right. And it
Bad
was
luck.
like it creates an unfair playing field in an amateur sport. That's how they roll. With it.
Right.
This is a similar
It's
situation.
also GV policies. They make it up on a whim.
Yeah, well, let's not start
Fair,
on that.
fair.
I could go all night. But you know, like this is what I mean. Like it's the theory around it, I get, but also he's just helping out some kids. He's not paying for performance enhancing drugs to make them better football players.
He's not buying players.
Yeah, he's making sure they get home safe to and from training because a lot
They're
of the
well
kids
fed.
don't have parents that
And
are
it's a
willing to
lower
help
social demographic
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
area.
100%. So he's
Yeah.
keeping his
That's a
players
good point,
safe,
Scott.
Yeah.
which we should care about.
Yeah.
Kids being safe, right? That should be
Yeah.
the number one thing when you're a high school football coach. Your number one thing should be my kids are safe,
And
right?
it's like a father in the community as well.
Was he a
right?
Walter
100%.
Payton Player of the Year, or was he a nominee for
He
think
that?
it
definitely
was
would have been a
nominated.
nominee.
Yeah. Like, this is the character of the person we're talking about. He's caring towards
And then the
community.
food is just making sure they're well fed. That's
Yeah.
not performance enhancing. It's
Yeah.
just making sure they have a square meal, the poor kids.
Yeah.
And then recovery stuff. So they have, the leg sleeves, they go
Sure,
in.
sure,
It's all
sure.
that sort of stuff. Just paying for them to go to a physio and get looked after because the school doesn't have the funding to do it. So he's saying, well, I want my players to
And
be
the
looked after
families
like
are
that.
poor. Like
Yeah,
whatever,
so he's just trying to help these kids out. He's not going to other schools and going, hey, but that's the concern now is that other schools will go, well, he's giving them this. My players are going to leave.
Yeah.
And it's just created this whole political bullshit.
That's ridiculous,
and
man.
it is. It's an absolute disgrace.
He's just an all-round good dude,
He's just
being a good dude, helping kids, man.
Yeah.
And do you know what? I reckon if the other schools said, oh, we're struggling with this, he'd probably help them too.
Yeah.
He's that sort of dude.
Yeah.
Like he would help them.
So
Like,
instead of giving this guy a commendation and giving him a plaque and like maybe a ceremony and a handshake, they're suspending this. This
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
fucking hell, the world's got retarded, man.
and he's still going to stay and coach him for the kids.
Of course he will.
Does that
Yeah.
not show you the character? He's going
Yeah.
to be like, I could storm off and do anything I want. Like he's rich. He could do whatever he
Yeah,
wanted.
exactly. Doesn't care.
Forever.
He doesn't
He's not-
even
he's not
need to
doing
be
it
a
for the
high school
money.
coach.
No.
He's doing that to give back to the
He
community.
just loves it.
Yeah.
And then to turn and do that, it's disgusting.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's such a sign of the times we live
Hey,
in right
shout
now.
out Teddy Two Gloves.
Yeah, shout out to Teddy Roosevelt. Love
Yeah.
that guy.
He throws it
One of the
Good one.
saddest
Hey,
stories
he
in
got-
NFL
yeah.
history.
he
He would
got-
have been, I will never forget seeing the footage of him destroying his
Destroying
knee in
his knee,
Minnesota
yeah.
practice.
And he was just coming.
And players, Michael Kendricks, who was probably the best off-ball linebacker in football at that point,
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair.
took his helmet off, crying, and smashed his helmet
Yeah.
on the ground,
yeah.
and was bawling his eyes out.
Mm.
Like why him?
Because
Yeah.
I was supposed to be real good that year too. I remember.
Well,
yeah.
it was the year before he showed all that promise to be a, top 10-ish sort of quarterback.
Yeah.
Like the progress is there. It's sad.
Yeah.
He
Very
got
sad.
some NFC Championship snaps though.
Did he?
Yeah, when Goff came.
Yeah, he definitely
when Goff got absolutely sniped on the pick, he came in.
Oh, last year.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
he did,
right.
he did,
Yeah.
I forgot he was. I forgot the
They brought him.
last
Yeah, they
year.
brought him back in
Yeah.
to be a backup. So
Well, on your Teddy Two Gloves, don't change what you're doing. Keep doing
yeah,
it.
no, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Fuck
Fight,
the system.
fight the power, bro. 100%.
Get after it. All right, let's get into. Is that it, Brock, for the news?
Yes.
Thank you, Brock. Brocky's corner.
We're going
Why not
South
Brock's
first,
corner?
boys.
Let's go.
AFC.
AFC. Let's go to the AFC South. Back to our division previews. We're doing the South this week,
Some grim viewing this week.
and
Some
Georgie's got some readouts to go.
Just on the little intros and wrap ups of the off season, they've been sensational.
Thanks,
I'm a
bro.
huge fan.
Thanks, bro.
They've been really good.
Thanks,
God,
bro.
I was ready for like an attack then.
No.
What a character arc.
Just
What a
huge,
guy. What a
huge
guy.
character arc for this guy.
Huge character. He's been attacking you for 45 minutes before the
Oh,
show.
yeah.
So
I've got it all out of this.
he owed you one.
George has been absolutely copying
Yeah,
it
but copying.
pre-podcast.
Old S-Man, now Georgie.
Yeah.
All right, are we ready?
Yep,
Let's go.
AFC South. What do you
So
got first?
Texans were 10-7 last year. All right, now entering his third year at the helm, head coach D'Amico Ryans has his work cut out for him more than ever in this division. After an up and down year, which saw his defense ranked in the top 10, but the offense floundering in the bottom third, behind subpar O-line play and a serious bout of the second-year blues for QB CJ Stroud. The season was given a pass mark, largely due to a playoff berth thanks to a crappy division and a stunning upset win against the Chargers, in which Herbert frankly gifted them the game with 4 interceptions, which was more than he'd thrown for the whole season.
Yeah.
However, the days of an easy division win are gone, with all 3 opposing teams set to improve dramatically this upcoming season. Stroud in year 3 as a starter will need to prove to the NFL community he's in fact who we think he is and not just a flash in the pan.
Yeah, I think that's pretty spot on. They've got a rock solid defense. It's probably a top 5 defense going into the year.
Yeah, the defense isn't the issue, though. It's the O-line that's going to be the issue.
Yeah, I think that's more the scheme because the coordinator, and I butcher his name anyway.
Stoic,
yeah. So Stoic was the year before head coach candidate, like Brian Johnson-esque, like, hey, he's going to get whatever job he wants.
Yeah, it's very true.
And then the following year, he just got cut and he's not in the NFL anymore. So something inside the building's gone wrong. And I feel like that Stoic never gave or never catered the offense around some of the deficiencies.
Sure. Which is what a good OC should be doing, trying to amplify the strengths and mitigate as many of the deficiencies as possible.
Yeah, and by all reports, that's just not what's happened. You don't go from head coach candidate to out of the NFL without something going wrong.
Fair. That's a very fair point.
From one season. Yeah. Something's happened.
Yeah.
Because he was to bail the ball. Like
Yeah.
everyone was talking about, and he decided to stay at the Texans for one more year.
Yep.
And it was probably in career moves, maybe the worst decision he ever made.
In hindsight, definitely. So
Yeah.
I feel like there's something there. But one thing that the Texans have done a really good job of in the last few years is they got Joe Mixon for a 7th rounder from Cincinnati.
Yep.
And when he was out, they looked terrible. But when he was there running the ball, they looked like a very
that's what they've got to
efficient-
do. They've got to establish that run game like properly and make it rock solid. That's what they need to do.
And they've picked up Christian Kirk for a 7th rounder again. So you get 2 established veterans, two like generally high. Joe Mixon had some issues in college, but like high character.
In fairness to Joe
vets.
Mixon, he had a terrible, terrible moment in college.
Yeah.
Awful. One of the worst you'll see.
Yep.
And then
Unheard of.
since then,
Yep.
has not a blip on the radar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, which tells me that was an out of character moment and a
Yep.
very bad one, and you can look it up if you
Because
want.
that's right.
It was a terrible
but
moment.
Also, young kids make mistakes, man.
And I think you look at guys, history's told us that he's learned from that. Because
Yep.
not an issue.
Yep.
Not one issue in his entire career.
I'll
since
never
then.
fault the man for making the mistake. I
Yeah.
will fault the man for not learning from the mistake.
Yeah.
And
I
there's
seem
tiers
to
to how bad things are. Like there's other players that do far worse.
Yeah, we won't start on Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, exactly.
Who hasn't
And I
learned?
got it.
or
I got him,
Judkins.
they got him
Fuck.
Nick Chubb for half a can of Coke, so that's good
Yep.
too. Like, who knows what he could be? He could be anything.
Well,
Yeah.
look, he doesn't need to be the Bowcow anymore. He just needs to be.
Come in and get some good reps. It's really
You
it's,
can't
it's,
give
it's,
it
it's,
100 reps, and that's
it's an
perfect.
average. I reckon it's an average of 8 to 10 carries a game. He needs to be good for.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And then that's and then Damian Pierce, who we've talked about before, as your third string running back, I think he'll be cut. I don't think they'll keep him. I think he'll be at another team.
Yep.
But again, had an outstanding rookie year and has just dropped off each year since then.
Yep.
I agree with you on the Christian Kirk trade.
Yeah, Christian
He had a
Kirk.
down year last year, like everyone at the Jags.
Well, he was injured. He had a shoulder injury, and they cut him. Yeah, but like you said, the Jags are this anomaly, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
And my man Jaden Higgins is going to be.
You're very high on him.
Yeah, he's going to be very good. He's going to be very good.
And then obviously Nico Collins at last year at his healthiest point was probably the best receiver in football
4 years,
for a good
4 weeks into the season. Statistically, was the best receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, he was dominating and then got hurt.
So is
And-
Tank Dell out for the? He's out for the year,
Yeah,
right?
he's not playing this year.
I don't know if he's out for the year, but I think he's going to be out for at least half to 3/4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a 12-month injury.
I'm terrified.
I'm shattered
Tank.
for him.
I don't know if Tank Dell will ever be the same. I hope I'm.
He's had a couple of big ones now. Yeah.
It's like the third serious injury he's had. Like that takes a toll.
Lower body.
Can you
as
just go
well.
down to the defense, please, Brock?
Oh, can I say one thing on Stroud before
Please.
because you mentioned Stroud flash in the pan? If it wasn't for his playoff performances last year, I'd almost be ready to be like, okay, he had a good rookie year and he kind of fell
Yeah,
apart,
needs
came
to
back
show
to
us
earth a
something.
bit.
Yep.
His playoff games with no protection were outstanding.
Mm.
Like in particular, the Chargers game. I know we said Herbert threw it away, which he did.
Well, is that the defense just taking it though as well?
Yeah, the Texas defense is very good too.
Yeah.
I think we probably overrated the Chargers and underrated the Texans going into that game.
Yeah.
But what Stroud was able to do,
They were heavy favourites on the road, though. The Chargers.
the Chargers, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
they
what I'm
were.
saying. It was probably a bit wrong from everyone.
Sure.
So I think that what Stroud was able to do gives me some faith that I think he's going to be very good still.
It's looking like Tank Dell will miss the whole 2025 season.
That's
cool.
a shame. That's 2 out of 3 years. That's
Yeah.
for a promising receiver. That's
I think if they can get half competent O-line play
Yep.
and get a solid run game going, Stroud will be good. I think he's got enough talent. Like, I think he's good.
Because defensively, I think Derek Stingley is one of the best corners in football. He's top 3 and he's not 1 because it's Patrick Surtain, but he's in there. He's in
there
the
for
top
sure.
he's
3.
comfortable. Oh, I wouldn't say comfortable. Yeah.
He's comfortably top 3.
I was going to say comfortably 2, but I really rate JC Horn.
Yeah, I think it's probably a fight between those two.
Yeah, you can flip a coin.
And then
Bullock's a stud.
yeah, and I really like Jalen Petrie. He's a really
Yep.
good versatile safety.
I love Daniel Hunter. He's a stud,
Oh,
man.
Daniel
he
Hunter
was
just
all
keeps
pro
doing
last
it.
year.
And then Will Anderson,
Anderson.
Jr., who had a somewhat down year last year with still being really good.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
he was still so valuable.
Yep.
And then I like this is killing me to say this, but I love the addition of CJ Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah.
It gives them just a bit of asshole back there.
Yeah, a bit of CUNT.
Yeah, 100%. It gives them, and then like I also really like Aziz Al
Yeah, Al
Shahir.
Shahir's really good.
One
too,
because
yeah.
it's a great name, but again,
Apart from when he's
I love how the way he
hitting.
plays. So he plays on the edge, and I like
plays on
that.
the edge, and
Yeah.
it cost him last year a
Yeah.
couple of games. That
The-
hit
the
on
quarterback,
Lawrence was
yeah.
bad,
Doesn't matter.
but I feel like D'Amico Ryan's. I think you'd like that about him.
Yeah, that's
I
what
think
I
you'd be
mean.
like, you know
Yeah.
what, you just keep playing like that.
you take the good with the bad.
Because
And that's why he would like CJ too, because he's that type of player, and
Yeah.
he'll play well under Ryan.
The only difference is that if Shahir, Al Shahir gets burnt, there's safeties behind him. If CJ gets burnt, that's a touchdown.
it's all over. Yeah, CJ. I've said I just think in terms of the personnel of adding CJ Gardner-Johnson, I don't mind it at all.
Yeah.
In terms of adding a guy, Texans. This division's weird, and maybe we'll talk about the other teams first. But I can't see a world where this team's not good next year. Like I think the Texans are going to be at their floor is to be a 8 to 10 win team. That's the floor for them. That's
Yeah.
as worse. That's as bad as it could get.
I would say the floor
Without
is probably
injuries.
7 to 8, and the,
Yeah.
the ceiling's probably 11 or 12.
Yeah, I think that's it. But I think they're a good team. They're in a good division. They're every chance to win it again next year.
I just
Yeah.
think that the gap between the other teams and them is
It's definitely close.
closing. That's all I'm saying.
I think
they're
the roster's pretty strong, and D'Amico Ryans has proved he's a pretty good coach. I think they would have to be a very short favourite to win the division.
I think so. Right now, they would be.
Yeah.
All right, who you got next, Georgie boy?
Next, we've got the Indianapolis Colts. So they went 8-9
Yep.
last year. So the Indianapolis Colts are an interesting case study in how one bad draft pick can derail a team and potentially lead to blowing up the entire roster. GM Chris Ballard and head coach Shane Steichen are both set to join the unemployment line as the inevitability of Richardson being a monumental bust becomes impossible to ignore. The writing was already on the wall in free agency when the Colts front office brought in, of all people, Daniel Jones on a one-year deal to compete for the starting job, and by all reports, he has taken a commanding lead. This year looms as a complete disaster for an otherwise playoff caliber roster purely due to the QB situation. Richardson has shown he lacks the professionalism, aptitude, and cognitive ability to run an NFL offense, and Jones has shown he's mediocre at very best and is not the long-term answer. Let this be a cautionary tale for NFL franchises going forward. Stop drafting QBs on potential or raw physical ability who can't actually play the position. Because for every Cam Newton, there's 100 Trey Lances, Tim Tebow's, or Jamarcus Russells.
Don't you dare slander Tim Tebow like that. He won a playoff game.
Tim Tebow was probably
Tim Tebow is a legend.
misused.
Legend of Florida.
He's a legend.
No, Tim Tebow was never misused. Anyone with
He was Snake.
the release time that guy had is never going to be successful. In the
Nah,
NFL.
Snake McDaniels killed him.
That's fair. Snake McDaniels killed a lot of players not named Tom Brady. All of them, actually. All of them. All right, let's just get the Richardson talk out of the way. I did some research into this week with Richardson.
Ooh, a-hole.
And yeah, went into a bit of an a-hole. And I'm not proud to say this, but I'm now strongly leaning towards George's conclusion on Anthony Richardson.
What brought you around, sir?
The main thing was obviously well known. We should get a t-shirt with this. I'm not a big college guy. Seeing his play at high school level, then college level.
So you went back and watched tape? Is that what you're saying?
No, I watched. Sorry, I didn't watch tape.
He watched TikToks.
I didn't want that an a-hole. I watched stuff on his statistics, his wins, his losses.
Sure.
He was a extremely mediocre college quarterback in terms of statistics and success, team success.
Yeah, at Florida, you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah, and everywhere until then, and now at the NFL. But everywhere he's been mediocre at best.
Yep.
Which tells me that his success is purely
Athleticism.
stringent on his athleticism. Yeah. The fact that we haven't seen it at any level be successful now makes me think that why are we going to see it now? That's the question I'm asking. If we haven't seen it at the lower levels, why do we think now, where his athleticism is as least important as it's ever going to be, is the NFL? Because everyone's a good athlete.
That's right.
He's a very good athlete, don't get me wrong, but his athleticism is becoming less and less valued the higher you go up.
Yeah,
probably because his coaches aren't there to develop him. His coaches there just win to get to the next
level. 100%. I think it's a slide on him as a player as well. They just leaned on the athleticism.
Yeah.
But it also could be the fact that maybe he wasn't capable of doing the thing they needed him to do.
Well, that's kind of what I've been saying all this whole time. Like, it's too late now at the NFL to teach him how to play quarterback. It's too late now. Now's the time to like tweak and fine tune things, not go back to base level. This is how you read a defense at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
This is what it means if this is cover 2, this is cover 3.
I think
this is what you check out of.
Cover 3. I think you're underselling.
No, I think you're putting it in layman's terms.
I'm putting it in layman's terms.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he doesn't but there's nuances to playing quarterback that you can't just go back to base level at the NFL level. You can't do that.
That needed to happen in college.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But in college, it was like, this guy's enough of an athlete, he can win for us. Let's
he
just steer into what he does.
He can just run through everyone because he's bigger and faster than literally everyone in college. Yeah.
So I think that's where I'm leaning on it now. I think the Colts they're up for a fall. And because Daniel Jones is not the savior. Their team talent is not that good. It's not that talented a roster. Really isn't.
I think the roster's not bad. I like the receiving core. Yeah, the
receiving core. Okay, so
Downs is good.
Pittman's fine.
Pittman's good.
Downs is a good slot receiver. Alex Pierce is a decent deep threat. That's what they are.
Yeah, good running back.
Any of those receivers in the top 30 receivers in the NFL?
Maybe
I would say Pittman and Downs.
Pittman's in the top 30.
You reckon? Would Pittman start on any other team in the NFL? Name another team he starts on.
Yes. Pittman would start on
a good
I
team.
would say he would start on 15 teams.
Would he start over Jerry Jeudy at the Browns? Probably.
No, but who's their other?
I'm saying, I'll rephrase it. Would he be a number one receiver on any other team in the NFL?
Yes.
I'm struggling to find one where he would be.
A good team?
And I like Pittman. Don't get me wrong. Pittman's fine. Like, he's a good player, but I don't think he's a number one on any other team in the NFL.
Oh.
Okay. Anyway,
I'm not saying you guys have to start saying them now, but the fact that no one's like Saints maybe, Titans.
Olave,
Saints are going to win 2 games this year.
I don't think Titans, no. I don't think is he better than Ridley? Probably. Yeah, probably better than Ridley.
Yeah.
Probably.
I'd say they're probably on par, but yeah, okay.
Patriots, for sure.
Is he better than Stephen Diggs at this point?
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
There's 2. I don't reckon there's any others. Maybe
Yeah.
Chargers.
No, he's not. He's not better than Ladd. Not better than
Yeah,
Waddle.
he-
Well,
Ladd.
Ladd's
Lad's a slot.
This is where Ladd's a weird starter. He's a starter, but he's a very specific starter.
Yeah.
He's a slot.
Yeah.
Like
And he's
if
just
you're only
a
playing
dump
two
off-
receivers,
He's a
Ladd probably
dump off
wouldn't play.
specialist.
They got a decent O line. They got a good running back.
Tyler Warren.
And Tyler Warren.
And Tyler
Like,
Warren, he's going to be a great.
let's just all pause and give our flowers to Tyler
Sure.
Warren.
Yeah, he's
I
gonna
cannot wait to watch this dude play football this
Yeah,
year.
he's going to be great.
But I think all those things we just talked about, right? What's the one thing that's stringent on all that being successful?
Quarterback play.
The quarterback play.
That's what I'm saying.
And I don't think with Daniel Jones or Daniel Jones, we've seen it. Like at best, the best season he's going to be able to give him is 15 touchdowns and he runs for a few,
Yeah.
which was his best year at the Giants, right?
So in my wrap up, I said that, and this is a playoff caliber roster. Like this roster is good enough to win this division if they had average or slightly above average quarterback play.
Which I don't think they'll get that.
No, they won't. That's my point.
I think, and the only hope of them getting it is Anthony Richardson. And I don't know with injuries, his play. I don't think it happens.
I think my issue is that the Colts have set Richardson up for failure from the very start.
I agree.
And I think Richardson's copping too much of this because he was thrown into a situation where he couldn't win. The only way he could win is if he did. How often does a top 5 quarterback, like drafted quarterback, goes into his rookie year and his second year and is an established fucking top 15 quarterback?
It's not as rare as you think. The last 2 years we had Stroud and Jaden Daniels.
What about all the busts before that?
Yeah, there's plenty of busts along the way. That's
Yeah,
what happens.
but like 50% of first round picks are busts.
But I think you've proven the opposite point in saying that. Is like you talk about all the busts. Like you're
No.
either successful in the first round or you're a bust. And
My
I
point
think
is that
Richardson's
they
in that
took
area.
a guy that everyone knew that was a project,
Yeah.
and then entrenched him as the starter,
Yeah,
Mm.
that's
and
fair.
then
And
the
like
whole
threw into
world
the fire,
shocked that he didn't get the time to develop because he was a raw prospect.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
They
like,
should have started Gardner Minshew his entire rookie year.
Well,
yes,
you got to go back 2 steps. He's not worth drafting as high as they did. They made a
that's
mistake.
Yeah, and
And that's why I said it's gonna cost the GM and the coach their job.
well,
they're
it will
gonna
now
get
that
fined.
Israel's passed.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Because I think
And-
Israel and Bollard were. Bollard probably should have lost his job before.
And the main daughter that's now in charge, because the 3 daughters and they're all in charge of different aspects
Yeah.
of the organization.
She's very switched
But the
on.
main daughter, she's very like shrewd and she knows ball
Yeah.
and like
Someone compared her to Cameron Diaz from Any Given Sunday.
yeah, okay,
It's
cool.
like the perfect
Yeah, she's
comparison.
very-
of it.
Yeah.
Looks like Cameron Diaz too.
Does she? I've never seen her.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Well played by her.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Hey, congrats.
she knows
Israel's
ball
daughter.
and she's very shrewd and she's like a businesswoman. She ain't
Yeah.
playing games like
Nah,
you're
I
going to
don't
be
think so
out.
either.
She's earned her role in
Yeah.
a man like driven sort of
100% in a man's industry.
Yeah,
There's nothing
yeah.
wrong with saying that.
Yeah.
The NFL's is a man's industry.
And
Yeah.
it was the
Has
biggest,
been for the history of its
the
league,
biggest
and it's
boys
changing
club it's
now.
ever been, bro.
Yeah, it's changing now, and the boys' club hopefully starts to end. But yeah, can we scroll down to the defense? Big brokey.
well, the
Because-
defense is pretty studded.
Yeah, I like a lot of their players.
Yeah.
Obviously, like you think Buckner's probably going to drop off every year, but he just keeps playing well.
Yeah.
He just keeps,
Stud.
but
Yeah.
my thing, we all loved Latu last
Yes.
year,
Yep.
and then Quiddy Pay is actually a really underrated edge rusher. He's
Yep.
a really good player. He doesn't get the 15 sacks a season that people want from edge rushers,
All-
but not all guys are built like that.
The only thing Franklin does year after year is get 130 tackles.
He's just
Yep.
a tackling
Yep, he's a machine.
And then obviously Ward, for personal reasons, had things come up and he had to leave San Fran, but it's an absolute great pickup for
This will be the last time an NFL franchise is going to draft such a raw QB prospect this high. It's done. This is it.
No,
No,
not true. Someone will do it.
Yeah.
3 years later, someone gets sucked into it again.
Well, if they do, they're stupid.
It could be next season. Okay, against teams.
If they do, they're stupid because they're
Because their
gambling
mindset-
their job.
But their mindset is that if it works, we're set up forever.
Yeah.
That's their mindset.
But like I said in my thing, for
They're-
every
they're
Cam
swinging
Newton,
for the fence.
there's so many busts, so many.
Yeah.
I think the conversion rate is very, very low.
yeah, but that's the team failing the player more than the players failing the team.
Oh, I don't think so always. I think there's plenty of players failing.
No, in this particular case, the
I don't
team
know.
failed.
No,
I'm not sure
disagree.
now. I would agree with you.
disagree.
A month ago, I would have agreed with you.
I think it's a column A, column B situation.
Yeah, it's probably
the team
50-50.
didn't help. He didn't help himself.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's actually wise words. Well done.
And now
That's a very
maybe-
measured
and then
take
now-
from you, Brock.
now
That's a
maybe
huge
when-
Thank you,
character.
sir.
And there's this old thing, like you can put, there's natural pressure that's put on you as an NFL player, especially being drafted in top 5. There's a natural pressure of the position, the quarterback position, the where you're drafted, the team, everything around it. And then there's pressure that you put back on yourself. And that's the stuff of not working hard enough, taking a rest when on third down when your team needs you, the rocking up late to meetings, not concentrating in meetings, which these are all things that are reported about Anthony Richardson.
you got the NFL veterans that are calling him out,
having meetings with him to tell him you got to work harder.
You got to up your professionalism.
That is pressure that Richardson is putting on himself.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
There is no one at fault for that stuff but him. He could work his ass off, and then everyone could be like, all right, well, it just hasn't worked out.
I definitely agree with that stuff as well. I definitely agree.
The list you just named out there are all things that take no talent as well.
Amen,
exactly.
You don't have to be good just to be on time. And being on time is early.
He's on fire tonight.
He's flaming. Thank you. The back of his head is sexy as fuck.
Keep going.
All right, let's get to the next team.
So next we got the Jags, who finished 4-13 last year.
God.
Yeah, I know. Wait. Categorizing the Jags 2024 season as an unmitigated disaster might seem a touch harsh to some, but when Mac Jones is taking meaningful snaps in games due to multiple and ultimately season-ending injuries to your franchise QB, it makes for grim viewing. So grim, in fact, that it cost Super Bowl winning coach and the QB whisperer, Doug Peterson, his job. However, it's not all doom and gloom in sunny Jacksonville, with the emergence of Brian Thomas Jr. as a bona fide stud wide receiver, a Heisman Trophy winner first-round pick in Travis Hunter, and a healthy and motivated Trevor Lawrence. It's all there for the taking for new head coach, Mr. Duval himself, Liam Cohen. Fresh off revitalizing Baker Mayfield in Tampa, the Jags front office will be hoping Cohen can work some similar magic with Lawrence. In the meantime, let's just hope he uses some of that new head coach money and heads down to Hugo Boss and picks up a few tailored suits.
He looked like he was wearing his dad's prom suit. But in fairness to Liam Cohen, the dude can coach.
Yeah, he's not there for his looks.
Yeah, he's not paid. Definitely he needs to get a suit.
Goofy looking dude, but man, he can coach.
He can certainly coach.
And last time I checked, the NFL ain't a beauty pageant, so don't worry about it.
It's definitely not. Otherwise, we wouldn't be talking about it.
Hey, man.
Other than Scotty, obviously. That
Me definitely.
me
definitely not.
But yeah, where this team, offensively, it's not outrageous to say that this hinges on Trevor Lawrence, right?
Yep.
We've seen him play at a really high level. We've seen him play at a poor level, both in his rookie year and at times last year. There seemed you can make excuses for him. His first year with Urban Meyer, easy to make an excuse. Urban Meyer was a clusterfuck. He's one of the worst coaching hires in the history of the NFL.
Agreed.
Kicking players, it just didn't work.
Not even knowing players' names.
Oh, outrageous. Just an outrageously poor, let's just hire a high-name guy that can get some seats on some bums.
To be fair, though, he had a good college career, just didn't translate to it.
100%, and which a lot don't. In fairness, like Nick Saban didn't either. There's plenty of guys that don't, right? So that's a clusterfuck. And then last year, there was something going on there more than just Lawrence struggling.
Yep.
He clearly didn't like Peterson. They clearly didn't get along. It
just wasn't a good marriage. I know what you're saying.
Something was wrong there. And some of that needs to go on Trevor Lawrence, and some of that went on Peterson. Now, ultimately, Peterson paid that with losing his job, and probably his head coaching career being over in the NFL.
I think he knew that relatively early in the year.
I think so too.
You know what really... this is almost like the turning point was I believe it was week 1 against Miami, where I think they're up 2 scores before halftime, and Etienne fumbled the ball crossing the goal line, and then Miami came back and won the game. It was almost like that point there you lost the roster.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It was almost like it was just like a switch. It may have been week 1 or week 2, but it was almost like the team just quit.
Yeah,
for the year. I was just like, hey, we're in Miami,
and that's coaching, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Because this team's too talented
to
not be competing for a roster for a division.
They're way too talented to be winning 4 games.
Yeah, 4 games. I actually didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah.
4 games is, and now obviously Lawrence was hurt for I think all the second half of the season.
Yeah,
and
they've cleaned out the GM. They've cleaned out the coaching staff.
And some players too. They dumped they dumped some guys. They bring Brian Thomas Jr. was the shining light of an awful season last year.
Yep.
He was probably the best rookie wide receiver
I think so.
I
Yeah.
don't think there was anyone really close.
Oh,
off the
neighbors
top of my
had
head.
neighbors had the stats.
Neighbors had a lot of catches, but
Yeah.
Brian Thomas was the most
Oh, Bowers.
explosive guy. Well, Bowers, Bowers
as a
tight end.
Yep.
But he was up there with those guys. Like he was in
Absolutely.
offensive player of the year conversations. Oh,
Absolutely.
offensive rookie of the year conversation.
Yeah.
He is a proper, genuine one receiver. He's a
Yes.
stud, man. He's so good.
And then you add this fun wild card of Travis Hunter.
Yep.
Which I don't know how it's going to work out. He's either going to be one of the best players in the NFL or just suck. Like he's either going to be really good or be like, oh, he's not good at either. He's not that good at either position, so he's not really that valuable.
What's more likely?
Well, you don't get drafted that high. It's more likely that he's going to be very good.
Yeah, I agree.
It's more likely that the fact that a guy is a, Heisman winner and a All-American at wide receiver and corner, that one of those positions are going to translate well to the NFL.
Fair.
Like you talk about guys, there are plenty of guys that are All-Americans at just one position and it doesn't work out. This guy literally could play wide receiver next year and be like, you know what? He's not a top receiver in the NFL. All right, let's flick him over to corner and he may be a top corner in the NFL. Like he's got that sort of versatility from his college production.
Sure.
I think
So
he's
it's very intriguing what Hunter becomes.
I think offensively, he's almost in the perfect situation where I know you're not high on Lawrence, but Lawrence is the guy. He's the guy. He's getting paid to be the guy.
He's the guy.
He's shown that he can be
paid,
the guy. And there's some anomalies there where they must be on a fucking voodoo grave like place. What are they called? Like
Graveyard.
burial. Yeah,
I actually think they're on a Blake Bortles burial ground.
yeah.
He took him to an AFC Championship game, choked the second half to Tom Brady, and went, "Fuck you, Jaguars."
Yeah.
It's actually a very nice stadium, though. It's a very nice stadium.
You know what I mean? Like it can't. There's something there. But anyway, my point is that so you've got Brian Thomas, you've got ETN, Tank Bigsby's like a really good backup.
Yep.
Like he won't be the sole focus on everyone keying in on him.
Yep.
And he doesn't have to be the number one guy straight away. So I think it's a good situation to learn the role at the elite level and use his actual talent.
And then I just want to talk defensively quickly, Brocky, if you can scroll us down.
There's some names here.
Jonathan Hines Allen?
Yeah.
Josh Hines Allen.
Josh Hines Allen.
Used to be Josh Allen. He obviously added the Hines. He didn't want to be compared to the Josh Allen anymore.
Yep.
He's a stud outside linebacker. Pass rusher.
Yep.
A stud.
Yep.
Trayvon Walker,
number one pick.
He gets shit because he was number one pick.
Yeah.
He went very good player.
He went number one because the Jaguars wanted a pass rusher and he was the best pass rusher in the draft.
Yep.
They didn't need a quarterback. So that's why he went number one. He's an extremely good football player.
Yep.
He's not your flashy pass rusher again, like that everyone wants, but he's elite against the run.
Yeah, he's really good.
And a really good pass rusher, a power rusher at that.
Yep.
And then their linebacking core with Devin Lloyd and Olaquan.
Yep.
They are just a couple of dogs that fly around the field. Like that front seven is potentially the best front seven in football. It's not far off it when you put them all together. It's that good. It's just there's just no big names on it.
They're right in the conversation, definitely.
Yeah,
they're right in the conversation.
I just think it's such a good defense. And then again, we had Darnell Savage from Green Bay, who's a really good player.
When he's motivated.
When he's motivated. Tyson Campbell is a really good corner that's underrated. Jordan Lewis came over from Dallas. He'll play slot for them. He's a solid slot guy. He's not a world beater, but he'll do the right thing. I think they have all the pieces to be a top 15 defense in the NFL at worst.
Sure.
That's kind of the worst case scenario.
Yeah, that's not an outrageous statement.
Yeah.
Based on that, no.
And well, the interesting thing is that they were projected to be probably a 10 to 11 win team last year.
Yeah.
So you know that they got the talent. They've grown into the talent like another year, and more veterans, all that sort of stuff.
And then also Eric Armstead is their rotational defensive tackle, who's a really good football player.
Yep.
Still, yeah. A good veteran in the room.
This is the ultimate wild card of the NFL season. The Jags. They could be They could be 4 wins again and be blowing it up, or they could win the division and win 11 or 12 games.
Sure.
That's the floor and the ceiling for these guys.
Be interesting to see how Cullen goes with Lawrence and
all hinges on Lawrence and Cullen. I truly believe that.
Like I know, like I'm not high on Lawrence because it's all like potential. I haven't seen enough high level play. Like there's been flashes of high level play,
that's fair.
But I want to see consistent high level play.
Yeah,
and then I'll be like, yeah, he's good.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
All right, let's go to the next team. Who is the other team in this division?
Titans.
that was a gag, by the way. we forget about them a lot.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I thought you were being genuine.
It wasn't a
It's
good
easy-
one, 'cause it's-
easy to do.
Easy to do. Yes.
Yeah.
pretty fair
forgettable.
considering they were 3-14.
Yeah.
After a less than impressive 3-win season and discovering that Will Levis does his best work behind the video camera and not under center, it was back to the draft to find their next franchise QB for the Titans. Cam Ward was selected number 1 overall, a standout performer in his 5 years of college across 3 different programs.
Mhm.
Tennessee will be hoping his athleticism, playmaking ability, and gunslinger mentality will translate to the NFL as this ailing franchise is desperate to find their QB of the future.
Well, this season, the Titans season is, I don't think they're going to be good. It's all about Cam Ward. It's just seeing what you've got in
Developing him. Absolutely.
Now, we talked about Richardson before. Cam Ward's not that different in his skills, right? His college production's better, but
Still got a few issues with his accuracy and
100%.
stuff. So,
He has
I get
similar
your point.
issues, right?
Where's the difference though? His application is much, much better.
He seems that. He seems to work hard. He seems to, from what we've seen so far, he seems to want to be the leader. He wants to be the man.
Yeah.
Which is a big thing when you enter the NFL.
His
You gotta wanna be the man.
leadership qualities are much better than Richardson's as well.
100%.
If we're making the comparison.
You've already seen that.
Yeah.
So my fear is, are they throwing him to the wolves a little bit?
Yeah.
It's not the receiving core, Van Jefferson, Calvin Ridley, and Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett 5 years ago, yeah, awesome.
Mm.
Van Jefferson's a guy.
I'm
He's
surprised he's in the NFL still.
everyone.
When I saw that, I was shocked.
Whenever you see him on a
Tony
roster,
Pollard's still in the NFL.
I like Tony Pollard. And then Calvin Ridley, who's, from personal issues, he was elite that 1 year in Atlanta.
Hmm.
And then he had a good year in the Jags when he came back, but it's nothing great.
Hmm.
He's not a 1. He's a 2 at best. He's a 2 he's a 2 with a really good 1, and they don't have a really good 1.
Sure.
And I don't think they have the pieces around Cam Ward for them to be successful this year.
No.
So it's just a matter of seeing, can he push some shit uphill and make the most of the bad situation?
You just want to see if basically he can
be a franchise quarterback, basically.
Yeah. You just
that's
want to
it.
see the building blocks. That's all you're judging him on. You're not judging him on stats. You're not judging on wins and losses.
No.
You're just judging on, hey, can you see the guy in there somewhere? Can we build on that?
And just show the fundamentals. Like I said, can he read a defense? Can he change the play? Can he throw with anticipation?
Well, I mean, he may be able to read a defense, but if he doesn't have the guys to get open, he's just going to cop
that's
a
true.
beating.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah. And then defensively, it's
it's
not
grim.
It's grim viewing.
Yeah, it's grim. Sneed's
Sneed's a good corner.
yeah.
Sneed's a really good player on a really good team.
Brownlee's
Unfortunately,
up and coming. I think he's a good corner. There's a good corner in there. Yeah.
That's right. And obviously Jeffrey Simmons is an outstanding defensive player,
yeah.
but
This is a team.
there's not much else.
This is a team that basically is bereft of any real high end talent.
Mm.
And I think what they're hoping is they found their guy. They can see the building blocks, like Scott said, and then they go, okay, cool. We've got our QB buttoned up. Now we can focus on rebuilding the rest of the roster, because there's no point putting to work all this if you don't have the QB.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's no point, because we've all seen it. You can't win without one. You need at least average or slightly above average quarterback play to be successful.
This team really needs to hit on a few years of second and third and fourth rounders.
Yeah.
There's just
To
so
build-
many
to
holes.
to build the roster.
And then all draft, they were trading back. So they had the 33rd, 34th pick or something like that. They trade back.
Yeah, it's because I truly believe it's because they know this season is just a watch and see what Cam Ward does, and then load up on picks. Because if he ends up being really good in his rookie year, being a rookie of the year sort of guy, then you're loaded with picks for next year, and you go,
Sure.
okay, now let's go.
But
Now we've got a guy. Let's go get some dudes.
Texans got Jaden Higgins.
Yeah.
You could have got a borderline one receiver.
Yeah,
So why are you trading back? Throw another dart on the wall. Hey, we've got no receivers. Only one receiver or two receivers are taken in the first round. Let's get the third best receiver in the draft. Let's just see what he's got.
Yeah.
Why do you trade out of that pick?
well,
So-
I get they obviously didn't value that. They obviously didn't value him there, and they probably look at their roster and go, well, we've got Ridley, we've got Lockett, and Van Jefferson. We've got 3 veteran guys that we're going to use to support Cam Ward,
and that's like enough for now,
and enough to just see where it gets us.
yeah.
Well, it's not. I'm not saying it's the right way, but that's the way they're doing.
What's the ceiling for these guys, you think?
Or is there any world any world where they pull a Washington. I'm not saying the NFC Championship game, but they're a good team next year because of Cam Ward.
No, and I think
Because we would have had a similar comparison with Washington last year with Jaden Daniels.
and
Pretty untalented, not much going on.
this comes back on the coach. So Dan Quinn's he learnt from Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
He's a very good players coach.
Yep.
You saw success at Seattle. You saw success at Dallas.
Dallas was a
has-
He also
DC,
had he was also a previous head coach, and you saw he was at the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
So there's a pedigree of a very good coach.
Yep.
Throughout.
Fair.
And I can't remember the head coach's name, and Brock's not throwing me.
Is it
a bone.
Canellis?
No.
Right, Callahan.
Oh,
Callahan.
Callahan.
So yeah, he's
like
the
him.
son of a famous coach.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have the runs on the board, so I don't see that dramatic turnaround. And
No, I don't think so either.
Washington just had more talent. They're so deprived on
So,
talent.
that's where I disagree a little bit. I think at this point last season, we would have thought very, very similar about Washington with their lack of talent.
Brian Robinson's was a good running back. They
Yeah.
had Terry McLaurin.
Pollard's a good running back. Tajay Spears is a good running back.
Mm,
As I'm saying, I'm not
Yeah.
saying. I just think that if we could go, I could go back and find the podcast talking about Washington last year. I think we'd have had very similar thoughts. And Cam Ward as Jaden Daniels can open a lot of doors very quickly, depending on this first year.
yes. Yeah. I just think that
agree. I just
Washington's
think
probably
Daniels-
in a better.
Daniels is the
place.
exception, though. Like that's not
Doesn't happen
something-
every year, you're right.
that's-
And that, and also in very fair point, Quinn, Dan Quinn has made a history of getting the most out of lack of talent on defense.
Mm.
He did it at the Cowboys for years, less talented defensive players, and he would just get the most out of them every year. So we had Canales doesn't do that. I mean, Callahan doesn't do that. He might do it out of the O-line. I hope he does because
Yep.
got a couple of young guys in Skoronski who I love and JC Latham. So hopefully you can develop them and turn them into
And
good players.
and Cushenberry's
Cushman's a solid center.
yeah, solid. Yeah.
So I'd be interested to see.
Yeah, JC Latham's a stud.
I really like
very
JC
good.
Latham.
Yeah, he's
And
very good.
Skoronski's he had a disappointing first couple of years. I think he's very good.
Yeah, I think so as well. He's very technical. It's hard to rate a very technical guard.
Yeah, I think he's going to end up being a very
Yeah,
sought after player, not on the Titans. In a
Yeah,
couple of years.
yeah,
He's going to be that guy.
Yeah.
Like Will Fries was for the Colts. He's going to be
Yeah,
this guy's like,
yeah.
everyone wants him.
Yep.
All right, let's get to the NFC.
NFC
South.
I think we've got to really fly into this.
Let's go, big
All
dog.
right, here we go. So we've got the Bucks who were 10-7. The Bucks' solid hold on this division was in full effect last year and looks set to continue this upcoming one. Baker Mayfield enjoyed his best season under center to date, throwing for almost 5,000 yards and 41 touchdowns.
Yeah.
However, the loss of OC Liam Cohen to the Jags will no doubt affect the Bucks' offense, which has been humming in recent years. The drafting of Emeka Egbuka to an already stacked receiver room and the signing of Hassan Reddick to bolster an already stout D-line has Tampa set to repeat as division champs.
Is anyone thinking Tampa's not the team to beat in this division? I think it'd be unfair if we didn't.
No, they're just so much like top to bottom. They're just far superior than any other team.
Yeah, and Baker's the best quarterback in this division at this point.
Yes,
Agreed.
absolutely.
He had
Yes.
like I said, it was his best year last year.
Yeah,
statistically.
almost 5,000 yards.
Yeah, 4,600 yards, I think it was, and 41 touchdowns.
That's a huge year.
Yeah,
And low interceptions too. I think it was only like 12 or 14 interceptions, which is good for him because he's known for throwing the ball over too.
Yep. And the emergence
Tristan
of
Wirfs being out is a big out.
Is he out the whole year?
Oh, he's out for a while, I think.
is he a top 5 tackle?
Yeah, man, he's a really good.
He
tackle.
was all-pro left tackle last year.
I know, but
he was
that-
first team All Pro.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I mean. He's first.
Yeah.
He's definitely top 5 tackle.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I
about it.
wasn't. That wasn't.
No.
I was leading that. Like I believe that he is. as
Yeah,
well.
I think he is.
But-
I think he's.
But you got like Lane Johnson. You've got Sunil Panay.
Penei. I think
Sewell,
he's.
He's in that conversation.
You talk of left tackles. He's in the top 2,
Yeah.
maybe 3. And if you, from anyone's point of view, should be. And if you talk about total tackles, he's in the top 5.
Yeah,
There's not that many good right tackles. Like Lane Johnson's the outlier for right tackles.
Yeah.
He's an elite right tackle because most really, really, really good tackles play left tackle.
Yeah.
That's how.
No,
it works.
I think he's probably a top 3 tackle in the league as well.
Can I tell you what scares me with these guys? It's the age.
Yes. Yeah.
It's the age of Mike Evans. It's the age of Chris Godwin coming off an injury.
Injury, yeah.
I know Ibuka.
Yep.
is a young receiver, which I like, and I like McMillan too. He had an okay year last year as a rookie.
He had a good stretch towards the end of the year. He really came on. Yep.
Offensive line, they're good. Tristan Wirfs obviously is good, but he's not playing. He's going to be hurt He's going to be out for a while.
Yep.
Other than that, their offensive line's not phenomenal. It really isn't. Which Bucky Irving I really like, but there's a lot of age on this team.
Sure.
And that doesn't always. Eventually, we know in the NFL it runs out.
Yep.
And I'm hoping it doesn't happen with Mike Evans and Godwin, but at some point it will.
It will. Of course it will. It's inevitable.
And I think the drop off could start to happen next year, which will have a massive impact on this team and on Baker. And Liam Cohen being gone as well.
Yeah, the loss of Cohen will be big
Yeah.
because he's
And like Vita Vea
He's not young anymore.
Yeah,
He's well
not
into his
young.
30s.
It's a punishing position. Like a nose tackle in a
I think
3-4.
Hassan Reddick's going to be their starting defensive end.
They're the fourth youngest team.
The Bucks
The Buccaneers.
in start is that total roster?
That's total roster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
starters. The starters are quite old.
That's fine. Their offensive line's very young. In fairness, they just I don't know if any of them are good. That's the problem. You can be young without being good, but
Can you scroll down the defense, please, Rocky?
their key positions, the key guys that we've loved about the Bucks for the past decade, are getting to that point where it's like, when's it going to end? Levante David, there's another guy.
Yeah, that's right.
One of the oldest players in football. Like it's going to run out, and that's my concern. That's the only concern I have with these guys. If Mike Evans is still the same guy, and Godwin's still the same guy, and Hassan Reddick has a good year off the edge, and Vita Vea is still really good, and Levante David just keeps going like he has, then they'll be fine. They'll probably win the division. But that's the outlier. That's the questions.
You're gambling on a lot of old guys.
100%.
Having said
Unfortunately,
that,
in the NFL, you don't win too often.
No, you don't.
having said that though, like just because the rest of the division is so shit, that does play into their hand a little
And that's
bit.
why I think they're in the front seat to win this division. I truly think that.
Yeah.
All right, what's the next team, Georgie boy?
Next team is the Atlanta Falcons, who were 8-9 last year.
Atlanta Falcons.
I'm glad you got that reference. Thank you. The QB controversy that marred the majority of 2024 in Atlanta was so intriguing that Netflix decided to make a documentary about it. Signing Kirk Cousins to a 4-year deal with $100 million worth of guarantees to then draft Penix 8th overall when no one thought he was a first-round talent will go down as one of, if not the strangest off-season moves at QB in recent memory. Cousins, who was never a super mobile QB to begin with, struggled coming off a torn Achilles. Penix, with his smooth lefty action, was brought in to try and salvage the season, but it was too little too late. Now the incumbent starter, the Falcons are hoping Penix can unlock this offense's potential, which is loaded with talent.
I think I'm running out of loaded with talent with this team.
No, come on. Drake London's good. Darnell Mooney's good. Bijan's good. Kyle Pitts is, Kyle Pitts forever having a career here.
We will have no Kyle Pitts.
That's what I'm saying.
On this podcast.
So no, they've got a solid O line. No, on offense they're good.
Yeah,
they just need.
It's hinged on Penix.
They need competent QB play,
which is wild because the one of the worst decisions in draft history with drafting Penix, which it still was, is
just because of the value. Yeah,
could be what saves them.
Yeah, that's
which
crazy.
is wild.
Yeah.
Like sometimes things just work out for you, because in his time, in his games, the minimal play we saw of him last year, he showed some stuff. Like he showed some flashes.
It's tough. It was in a very tough situation last year because obviously for the whole year the playbooks developed around all of Cousins' skill set, which is drastically different to what Penix brings to the table. Cousins is an on-time throw in anticipation, doesn't have a cannon. He will throw the ball in the right spot. The receiver will go and get it. Obviously, Penix is a live arm, is a genuine athlete, and you're going to have two hugely different playbooks. So you can't squeeze one guy. He's squeezing a circle peg in a square hole.
Yep. Very good point.
So I'll
just on that point, Scotty. If you watch the quarterback documentary, they didn't actually really cater the playbook to Kirk Cousins. He has a hard time with it because there is a lot of shift and motions, which he's never done in his career. Penix coming out of college was doing a lot of those motions and shifts, so it somewhat benefited him to go into that concept.
Bit of inside intel from the B-Dizzle up there on the ones and twos.
It was a good Friday night.
I got a bit of time on Sunday. I might flick this QB.
Give it a watch.
Doco on.
Yeah, I might have to.
Anyway, go back to my original point. There's more than enough talent on the offensive side of the ball for them to at least be a productive offense and score points.
No, the defense is a completely separate conversation.
Yeah, I'm so skeptical on this team. I think that they're literally just going to bottom out. I think they're going to bottom out. They're going to be, I think, when I say one of the worst teams, they're going to be one of the worst 6 teams in the league next year.
Wow, that's a huge call.
No, I don't think so because the division's not bad, not good enough for that to happen, and the team's got.
Well, they get 2 easy wins over New Orleans, and then are you confident that they're going to beat Carolina twice?
Well, we'll talk about Carolina.
They split. I know I'm higher on Carolina, but Carolina's roster top to bottom, I'm taking that over.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know. I saw through it last year. They didn't do enough for me. Taking 2 swings, 2 first-round picks on edges, trading into the first round a guy that was falling.
Giving up next year's first-round pick is wild.
Unprotected.
Like it's wild
for James Pierce Jr. That was weird.
Yeah,
it was just a bad move.
Yeah,
it's just a terrible decision by them.
It's a super high swing.
Yeah, it's not even like. It's not even as much about the player. It's just not worth. What was he, pick 18 or something? It's just not worth giving up.
23, I think.
23. That's what I mean. It's even worse. It's not worth giving up next year's first.
Yeah.
Not knowing what it could be.
Yeah.
It's not even about the
25.
player as much. Yeah. It's just stupid. Because what are the chances of for them to have pick 25 next year? They would have to go to the divisional round of the playoffs. Divisional round of the playoffs.
Yeah. Right.
They have to win a wild card game.
I'm not
or not playing a wild card game. Is that going to happen?
I'm not saying that.
Nah, no way.
Which basically means if you're going to the divisional round of the playoffs in the NFC, you're with Eagles, Lions, Washington last year, Rams,
Vikings.
Like
I would say Green Bay over Vikings. Yeah,
Green Bay, whatever. We're talking
all
about
much better teams here.
The best 6 teams in the NFC, and they're not in that category.
Dude, they're not even the best team in the division. Like,
no.
Well, I think they've made this swing to win the division.
Yes, and I think it's going to blow up on them.
I
don't think they'll. I don't think they'll be like. They'll probably finish second in the division, maybe third at worst. Like they're not going to be worse than the Saints.
But to do what you're saying, they've got to win 5 games.
Yeah,
what you're saying, Scott. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, potentially. Yeah.
Okay.
I think they'll win 6 or 7 games.
Yeah,
at worst.
They might be the 6th worst team in the NFL next year.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just not that outrageous. Like what if Penning's good? What if he sucks?
Yeah.
You're putting a lot on, like, for everything that we say about McCarthy, it's the exact same situation. We just saw him play 3 games.
Yeah. And what if Kyle Pitts, as much as this hurts me, what if he isn't good? What if it's just not going to work out? Like that's a big way. What if Bijan Robinson, he's been fine his first 2 years. He hasn't been a game changer. And we know that very few running backs are game changers, right? We know that about the NFL, that it's a dime a dozen position except for the elite couple, right? That's which is
and those
the
guys,
CMCs and the Saquons the last couple of years.
And those guys, when they come in and it's like noticeable immediately. They come in with a bang, like Zeke Elliott, like 100%. Lead the league in rushing as a rookie, like that kind of thing. Like
Robinson's been versatile and cool and fun to watch without being dominant, and that's what worries me. What if that's what he is? What if the last 2 years of Bijan Robinson is just what he is? He's a 1,200 rushing yards, 400 receiving yard guy that's not going to change a win-loss amount that much.
My big issue is that to win, to be a playoff caliber team, you need to have a dominant line, a dominant O-line or D-line. And I
ideally
think,
both, really.
Well, that's when you're in the top echelon in the NFL. But I'm not seeing any, like, they're very lackluster in both lines. Their O-line's very suspect, and their D-line, they're relying on 2 rookie edge guys. And Brocky, we need you to scroll down.
Sorry, I was looking at the Falcon stats.
Who's their tackles?
Morgan Fox, David Omiyata, who's a nice guy. He's a nice player.
Yeah, he's fine. He's
Leonard Floyd.
Yeah, well, he's been doing the rounds. So, like,
that's
you know
what I mean. Like, there's just nothing screaming out there. Like, other than Jesse Bates and AJ Terrell, there's no dominant guys,
and they're absolute
both those
studs.
guys play DB.
Jesse Bates is good.
They're both awesome.
Yeah, they're absolute studs.
But they both can't affect the line of scrimmage.
No,
true.
Yeah,
and that's what your point is. This is where it's won and lost.
Yeah, I think.
And Chris Lindstrom's a really good right guard, and then other than that,
it drops off.
I love Jake Matthews. He's been a solid player at left tackle for his entire career.
Yes.
But at age 34, he's not the best tackle in football. He's
Yep.
just not. He never has been, and he's not
No.
going to turn into it.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's stacked against them a little bit.
Yeah.
There's much more questions than we have answered with the Atlanta Falcons.
Yep.
And we're not going to know until we start playing some football games. All right, next team, Georgia boy.
Panthers were 5-12. When assessing the prospects for the upcoming season for the Panthers, it's difficult to find many positives to discuss on a team so bereft of talent. There are question marks everywhere, none more so than that at QB. In his second year as a starter, Bryce Young struggled, so much so that the team saw fit to bench their former number 1 overall pick for a stretch of games. When he eventually returned to starting duties, he was acceptable at best when graded on a curve due to his physical shortcomings. With a defense, no, that's true. With a defense full of holes and an offense that will be relying on good QB play to unlock its potential, this will be a make or break year for Young. Does he have the skills required to be a permanent starter? Potentially. However, his size, or lack thereof, cannot be overlooked. In my very humble opinion, he is simply too short and too weak to play in the NFL. Unfortunately for the Panthers, it looks as though they will again be drafting a QB this upcoming offseason.
I think you're incredibly unfair on.
Yeah, Brock,
on,
can you pull up the
I am.
QB stats for the second half? Of the
I
year?
think down the stretch last year, he was one of the better quarterbacks.
Yeah,
in
he
football.
was definitely.
I don't know about
He
that.
wasn't
That's
mediocre at best.
they'll
that's for
playing-
sure.
I think
Spoiler.
you guys are a bit of rose-colored glasses there.
Nah,
Why? Because he was so bad before that.
Yeah, because you're not grading him fairly. You're grading him on. Well, he's doing pretty good for.
I'm
a
actually
little,
grading him against other quarterbacks.
He's
So
doing,
he
he's
would
doing
have
pretty
been
good for a little guy.
I think you're just grading him because he's short.
Yeah,
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, but his
But you
play
got
last year
personal
showed that he
bias.
can do
No,
that.
I
at
don't
that
have a
level.
personal bias at all. I like the kid.
You
I
said
like the kid.
borderline resurgence. What was your thing? He was a very good quarterback towards the end of the year.
He was acceptable.
He was
No, he was better than that. He
He
was
was-
better than acceptable.
Yeah.
Let's look at the numbers. I'd love to.
But what's acceptable in your mind?
No, can we get Brocky while we chat about it? Can you find the second half of the year quarterback rankings?
Gotcha.
And then we'll compare him against other quarterbacks. He'll be in the top half of the league for sure.
So,
To the end of the year.
And even like you look at the roster, and there's not a huge amount to write home about here.
I disagree.
No, I
Right?
think they're very feisty. I think they're actually in far better shape than Atlanta.
I think Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle, who was a 1,000-yard rusher last year for the Cowboys, on one of the worst rushing football teams.
Yep.
Still had 1,000 yards. He's a very solid player. Hubbard, very solid player.
Yeah.
Tommy Tremble, fine tight end. Whatever. Tight end's not that important in this situation.
Yeah, he's probably in the lower third of the league in
Yeah.
tight ends, but he's a blocking tight
He's
end. He's
fine.
not necessarily a receiving
And
tight
then
end.
Taylor. Oh, he's got the stats up now. Is that second half of the season?
Second half of the season.
We can't see half the screen.
Come on, to your brain.
Bryce Young, there he is.
1,100 yards.
1,100 yards. Is that 6 touchdowns, 5 interceptions?
Yes.
57% completion.
In how many games?
That's what I'm checking as well.
It'd be 8. They would break it. That's what the second half would be.
No, he wouldn't have played in all 8.
No, I don't think he did play in all 8. All I'm saying is the second half of last season, they played spoiler and beat a lot of really good teams.
Yeah.
And he went from, they've got to get rid of this guy at the end of this season to, all right, this is the guy moving forward.
Surely that's not second half of the season. Kirk Cousins did not have 1,500 yards in the second half of the season.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, because he had one 500-yard game.
Yeah.
He also got benched for five
Yeah.
games. He had a bye, and then Penix started 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, Penix only started 3 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he would have played 6 and he had one 500-yard game.
Yeah.
There's your 1,500. Yeah, you don't need much a game for that.
I think you guys are way too high on these guys, and you're way too high on Bryce Young.
No, I think Bryce Young. Don't get me wrong. I don't think this team's phenomenal, but to say that they're any worse than any other team in this division, I would say, roster, player to player by the roster, they're as good as any other team in this division. Now,
But I think Tampa Bay is probably a step ahead.
probably with Tampa Bay,
Yeah.
but like receivers, Leggette's going to his second year. Bit disappointing his rookie year, but speedster can take the top off. McMillan was the first receiver taken in the draft. Whether you think it was a reach or not, they loved him. They wanted him from the start, and they got him. His talent's there, right? Adam Thielen, veteran guy, he still does a bit from the slot. Offensive line, they're actually a very good offensive line.
Yeah. They invested pretty heavily.
Aquanu
Aquanu's
is
good.
a
Yeah.
very good left tackle.
Yeah.
Taylor Motton's a very good right tackle.
Yep.
Without being the best, he's very good. Robert Hunt's incredibly overpaid because they had to get him in free agency from Miami. They're
Yep.
paying him $20 million a year, which is outrageous.
But he's
But
solid.
he's a good guard.
Yeah, he's solid. Yeah.
Damian Lewis
He's
is
an
an
absolute mauler.
he's an ex first round pick.
Yeah.
He's a mauler of a guard.
Yeah.
And Austin Corbett was starting. He started for the Rams in the Super Bowl, so he's not a bad. But that's not a bad offensive line at all.
No.
And then defensively, I think they're
quite good.
They're quite underrated.
Yeah.
Brocky Stroll sent us on the right side. Thanks, man. Derek Brown, one of the best defensive linemen in football when he's healthy.
Yep.
He's an awesome player.
Yeah.
Josie Jules, my second favorite white guy behind the Great White Hope. And then it's just
I thought it was Rodrigo. Was your second favorite?
I'm not a big Rodrigo.
He's not fully white.
Oh, there it is.
But this defense, JC Horn's one of the best corners in football.
Yep. Murray Eagles an absolute stud last year.
Murray flies around. He flew around for Las Vegas last year.
Yeah,
I think they've added some really good players to this team. Now, if we're comparing them to the rest of the NFL, no, they're not that talented. But I think in this division, they're the best, if not the second best behind the Bucks in terms of talent at each position.
And you got to remember, finishing fourth in their division last year, they're going to be playing the pits of the NFL. And I think that they're going to be, their upgrades this year is far superior than all the other lower grade teams as well.
Yeah, I think so. I just don't get me wrong. There's a chance that they only win 5 or 6 games this year as well. Like, there's a chance that Bryce Young's not very good, but I've got some hope for Carolina.
I think
I think what he showed last year was enough to make me think this guy can play in the NFL.
What did they do down the stretch, Brocky?
They won out of their last 5 games. They won. Yeah, they went 2-3 in the last 5 games. They beat Atlanta last game of the year. They pretty much knocked them out of the playoffs as well.
Yeah, I remember that game. Yeah,
they beat Arizona as well. That were somewhat of the.
They were competing for the playoffs at that point.
Yep.
Definitely, they were competing for the last game of the season when McBride dropped.
And what about their losses? They got smashed by Tampa and they got smashed by Dallas.
Cowboys pants them, which was really weird because
Philly beat them because Leggett dropped the ball on the goal line.
Was that right? Yeah, they had a close game against Philly. That's what I mean. Like close game against KC. They lost.
Yeah.
Is that KC?
Yeah.
Yeah, they lost to KC by 3
that
points.
Was Mahomes' last minute score, I believe.
Yeah,
my head.
like I'm just saying they did some good things.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think there's hope for this team. Now, are they going to win the division? Would I put money on it? No. But
I would, for sure.
Their odds would probably be good. Actually, it's probably a good bet. But they've got a good
6.5 games is their over under.
Yeah,
games.
I was going to say there's more chances of them winning 5 games than them winning the division.
I'd say it's 50-50 just because of the division. If they were in another division, then yeah, it's a fair.
That's
point,
right.
But
Yeah. We're comparing them against the Saints and the Falcons, and I think top to bottom that they're better than the Falcons.
I think so too. Yeah.
Because the Falcons just have humongous holes.
Yeah, you guys are viewing this through the lens of you think that Bryce Young's going to be good.
Do you think he's going to be crappy?
I think if he's the same player he was to finish last year, they will be better than Atlanta.
Definitely.
Okay.
I think if he's the same player he was to finish last year, they're better than Tampa.
No, I think Tampa's better.
I don't know. There's a lot. I think there's more questions in. There's a lot of questions in Tampa too with their age.
I agree with what you're saying that it's going to catch up on them. But even if 3 of the 6 or 7 aging guys are good, their Tampa Bay is probably still better. And I'll take Baker and Bucky over.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair too. I'm looking at his numbers for the second half of the season. There, his completion percentage. Don't get me wrong, he had a couple of bad games, but he's had 3 games there where he's over 65% completion, 4 games where he's over 60%. Like,
that's not setting the world on fire. 60% isn't
over 60% in the NFL is solid.
It's very good.
It's very good.
No, 60%.
Like 70%'s the outstanding mark, right?
Yeah.
That's the best. It's essentially the best you can be. 70%.
Yeah.
That's the league. Like 60% is well over league average. Anyway, that's it. I will know more as the games start this year, but I've got some faith in Bryce Young and I've got some hope for Carolina.
I think
Carolina fans should as well.
I think they're primed to turn it around in the worst division in football.
Yeah, absolutely.
If they're in any other division, I'm not speaking about it in the same way.
Any team in this division is in any other division.
We're apart from this team.
Yeah.
My prediction is they won't win more than 5 games and they'll be moving off Young by the end of the year.
Yeah, and that's it. It's not an outrageous statement either, in fairness.
It is a little bit.
What? Why?
No, I don't think it's that outrageous. From his rookie year was diabolical.
I don't think a team's moving off a first overall pick in the 3rd year.
If he goes back to what he was his rookie year, they will have to. I'll have no choice.
They will have to.
Yeah,
They
he
will
was
have to.
awful. His rookie
And
year,
that,
it was
like,
awful.
I'm not trying to be a smartass or a contrarian or a hater, but that second half of the year that you guys are like banking on, that's I truly believe that's not him.
That was the outlier.
That was him. Yeah, that's the outlier.
Yeah.
What we saw in everything up to that was him.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
But the way he came back last year after being benched, he could have stuck his tail between his legs and just gone off and not wanted to play football.
Great.
He wanted to learn, but that shows promise. That's what we're banking on, George. We're not banking on how good his stats were.
I agree.
We're banking on he wants to play football.
He's a fantastic boy. He's got character to burn. He's an upstanding young man, and I'd probably love to have a beer with him. But that doesn't change the fact that he's that doesn't change the fact that he's 5'10" and 85 kilos.
I would say it's more likely with the rookie head coach last year that the last 6 weeks we saw is probably more likely what we're going to see this season than the first half of the year that we saw.
Hey, no one will be happier than me because, like I said, he seems like a great kid, and I want everyone to do well. I'll put that on the table. I don't wish for players to do bad, but like I said, all that doesn't change the fact that he's just too fucking small. Nah, fuck Mahomes. It doesn't change the fact that he's too small. That's all I'm saying. The guy needs 3 phone books to see over his offensive lineman. That's a problem.
No, he can jump. He's got
That's
hops.
like, you guys are like, you're forgetting. That's a problem.
We're forgetting
We've
because
seen-
he showed down the stretch that he can do it.
But we've also seen the NFL develop where smaller guys are moving out of the pockets and passing lanes are changing, and Drew Brees and Russell Wilson and all these other smaller quarterbacks have found ways to be productive.
They went
And he's
5'10".
just as
Drew
talented.
Brees was under 6 foot.
They went 5'10" and 80 kilos though.
They've got Drew Brees as listed 6 foot 95 kilos. He was not 6 foot.
No, he was under 6 foot. That's the running joke.
Well,
yeah. By the way, but that's not tall. But Baker's not tall. What's Baker? 6'1"?
Baker's 6'1" as well.
Yeah. No, Drake May's only 6 foot.
Good one.
6'4", bro.
No,
6'4".
That's a joke. All right, let's read the last one, the New Orleans Saints, and let's spend almost zero time on these guys.
Well, probably going to need 0 time.
Yeah.
5-12 with the New Orleans Saints. This year looms as a full-blown rebuild year for the struggling Saints under GM Mickey Loomis and new head coach Kellen Moore, fresh off of a Super Bowl winning run with Philadelphia.
Oh, Jesus.
The departure of Derek Carr, whose tenure in the Big Easy was marred with injuries and inconsistent play, leaves a giant hole at QB the Saints will be desperate to fill in this upcoming offseason. The romantic in me wants them to actively try and win as few games as possible and draft Arch Manning as their franchise QB, a title once held by his grandfather and namesake. I'm not expecting much from New Orleans this year, and clearly neither are the NFL, having not scheduled them for a single primetime game this year. The first time in 25 years.
Is there not even a Thursday night stinker?
Not one.
Them and the Titans, I believe there's
Not
two
one.
teams that don't
Not
have
one
primetime.
primetime game.
I thought you had to get one.
No,
First
they've
time
changed it.
in a quarter century.
Wow. That a team hasn't got one.
No, for the Saints.
The Saints
Yeah.
haven't got
No,
one.
because the Titans don't have one this year either.
Yeah, wow. What can we say about these guys? Alvin Kamara won't be on this team by the trade deadline.
He
Yes,
should
he will.
be. He should be looking to
Yes,
jump
he will.
ship now.
Because they're just sign him for $20 million a year.
Yeah, I think they'll look to move him.
Well, they'll pay him out, do an NBA buyout.
They'll trade him and eat some of the money
Yeah.
because he might help them win too many games. That's the problem.
Yeah, they should be trying to lose. They should be trying to win 2 games.
Yeah, I
Kendrick
think,
Miller, I like behind him as well. Give the young kid a go at running back.
yeah, they've got to. There is nothing exciting to talk about this team. Olave is
O-line's
probably
good.
one of their most exciting players, and he might not be able to play because of his concussions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He might not play again. And yeah, the O-line's not like Trevor Penning's a psychopath.
Yep.
And he's playing guard now, which definitely suits him better.
I think that's his better position.
100%. And then
Yep.
Calvin Banks first, obviously top 10 pick, which I like them going meat and taters in the first round,
Yeah.
which is good. And then Eric McCoy and Cesar Ruiz, which is
Ruiz
a
is a
great
gun.
name. They're both really good. They're
Yeah,
both
yeah,
really good
yeah.
players. So they've got some pieces there. But this team is not about winning this year. This team is about bottoming out and getting that quarterback next year. And I don't think it'll be Archie Manning. He won't go to the draft next
Why
year.
are we writing off Shook so early?
Tyler Shot. Oh,
Tyler Shook, yeah.
I think because of the situation he's in and the fact that they won't want to win, the writing's already on the wall.
yeah.
But once if you see the building blocks there.
Oh, yeah, potentially. Like, he could play well enough
Like-
to then not draft a guy next year. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's always that.
Yeah.
That's the best case scenario for this team is
Yeah.
that they manage to not win a lot, but he shows that he's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
He shows he's a capable, potentially starting quarterback.
Yeah.
But I think it's probably more likely that he's like who was the guy at the Texans that had the really long neck?
Mike Davis.
No, is it Mills?
Mills. David Mills.
Davis
David
Mills.
Mills, yeah.
It's
I
probably
don't
more
know.
likely it's like that where he's okay, but you're not writing home about it.
You're sort of setting him up to be the fall guy.
Yeah,
kind of thing, is that what you're
I
saying?
just don't.
I think they've definitely got their eye on next year's draft for a QB.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
and I don't think it'll be Manning. I think Manning will go back to college next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying it. That's like
Oh, the North
South
romantic
Carolina
storyline.
kid's meant to be really, really good.
Yeah, there's
The
always
romantic storyline is he goes and plays where his grandfather played. Like
Oh,
that's
it'd be
cool,
so
man.
cool.
That's so cool. Come on.
Yeah, but my other fear here is that, like, surely that, like, when they've hired Callum Moore, it's under the understanding that you're going to get kind of 3 years here.
You would hope so.
Like,
Yeah,
I
of
hope
course.
they don't suck this year, and then they're like, oh well, you couldn't turn Tyler Schaff around, you're out.
But I think they had 3 to 4 guys with second interviews for the head coaching job. So who knows what the discussion is? When you get to that point, and you have 3 to 4 guys, and then it's like, oh, Callum Moore, you just finished Super Bowl, yeah, just sign up, cool.
Yeah,
So,
What are you saying that they didn't want the job? Is that what
well,
you're saying?
maybe the discussion was, hey, your roster's
that's kind of what worries me.
one of the worst rosters. What is the plan for me? And they go, oh, we'll see how you go next year. They're like, I'm out.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, and then
that's
the
what I
last
mean,
guy is Callum Moore. So that my point is that, like, maybe that is not the situation. Maybe the ownership and the GM go, our roster's not that bad. We could win the division.
Up until the Eagles last year, Callum Moore was not a highly talked about coach. Yeah, he had some couple of good seasons at the Cowboys. Then he went
The Chargers thing was a little bit iffy
The
because
Chargers-
Staley was a bad head
Yeah,
coach.
that's what I mean. Like
He's there as a DC.
he's got Brandon Staley back.
I did not know that.
No,
Wow.
I'd forgotten about that actually. So, but he's a good. Like, Staley's a good DC. Like,
Yeah, he's a way better DC
Yeah.
than he is a head coach.
He's one of those guys. Good
Yeah.
coordinator,
Just-
bad head coach. It'd be interesting though. What won't be interesting is that this team won't win many games, and they won't be competing for the division. It's as simple as that. So hopefully Tyler Schaff shows some hope, and then they don't have to draft a quarterback next year, and they can use a top 5 pick, hopefully a top 2 pick on the best player in the draft, like your Abdul Carter, that
Yep.
sort of guy, and then not have to take a quarterback. But I think what's more likely is that if you're betting on who's the number 1 pick next year, these guys are probably the safest bet as of right now, and it's probably the safest bet that they're going to take a quarterback.
Yeah,
Amen.
they're all the Browns.
Amen.
All right, that is us for us this week. Shout out to all the people who have been commenting, following.
Yeah. We love the
it's
engagement.
Just
Please.
keep
Also,
coming through.
We need 100 more followers for Insta, don't we?
Yeah,
We
Instagram.
crack
If you can
1,000.
share some around, we need about 100 more to hit the 1,000 mark. Which
Which
I
was
know
huge for us.
it might not sound like a lot to some people, but that'd be massive for us.
No,
so
that's enormous for
if you
us.
can invite some of your friends, share it around, do whatever you can to get some more followers and help us keep growing because the growth's been unreal the last.
And like
few
I said
weeks.
earlier, the comments have been really good. Just keep the comments coming. We love it, man.
Yeah.
It's good engagement. It's good fun for us. We love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Brocky on the 1s and 2s.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out for the
He's
boys.
Brocky was sharp as a
He was-
razor tonight.
Mate, he's something on.
Razor blade.
He is on. There's something on.
Let's wrap it up. It's a long episode, boys.
All right, boys. Peace out, everyone. See you next week.